community that we have built at Search New Levels is unlike anything I could have ever imagined. And as people kept coming to us, it wasn't just, oh, I want to lift with somebody. It was a community where people could be friends, people could be family, you know, where they could go ahead and rely on each other as teammates as well. So it's really created something where we could genuinely count on all these people for anything and everything. And it's a second home for a lot of us. Lifting for myself and for a lot of other people is an outlet. Like, a lot of people look at it and they're like, why would you abuse your body that way? Why would you spend so many hours in the gym? Why would you do the things that we do on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis? But for us, it means a lot. It's an outlet to be able to escape, maybe for some people, the things that, you know, they're struggling with at home, they're struggling with at work. It's a way to go ahead and express themselves and relieve that stress. But for a lot of people, it's pretty much a place where they can go ahead and just say, none of that matters. We're here together and we're all doing the same thing. So we're family. This is Search New Levels, and welcome to your new home.
As an athlete, you're always looking for an edge, from recovery to your nutrition to your workouts. Anything that's going to help even 1%. And the equipment you use is no exception.
You want to use the best gear made with the latest technology that shows up for you time and time again when it matters. But we still have a problem. Quality training gear was either overpriced or it didn't last. We thought, why choose between premium and affordable when you deserve both?
We created Next Level Strength because we believe high quality performance gear should be within reach for everyone, from the seasoned pro to the person taking the first steps into the gym.
We made these products and we know what works and what doesn't because we live it every day. The colors, the design, every fabric and detail were picked to create great products that help deliver performance and style.
But this isn't just about products, it's also about people. We want to build more than a brand. We're building a community, a place for anyone chasing strength, performance, and a better life. No matter who you are, Next Level is committed to helping everyone get better.
I'm John Hack.
And I'm Andy Huang.
And this is Next Level.
Join us and redefine your limits.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to the Powerlifting United Power Surge 9. We're coming to you live from Search to New Level Strength Gym in Carroll Stream, Illinois, and we're here to walk you through our amateur day. We're happy to be commentating today. My name is Kevin Serrano and I'm joined by...
I am Christy Hoffmeyer, and yeah, we are excited to kick this day off.
Yeah, so last night and all day yesterday, we had our showcase and primetime pro days, and today we'll be showcasing our amateur lifters. So these are lifters who are maybe new to powerlifting and don't have as much experience as our pro level lifters who competed yesterday, but we're showcasing them now here at Power Surge.
So just a reminder for you guys, on watching the live stream, please engage in the chat, ask questions if you have them, cheer the lifters on. We'll be checking that throughout the day as well.
And if you want to follow along with the action and look at the numbers, you can go to liftingcast.com/meets and click on PLU Power Surge Pro AM9, and you can follow all the attempts and action as we see it unfold.
All right, so we are kicking off our squats for session 1 flight A. All right, that is a good lift for Tracy. Loading the bar up now for Liza, 187 on the bar. Liza's in our Open and Masters 50 to 54 class.
These open
All right, good looking opener from Liza. Let's see what the judges say. 3 white lights for her. The first squats are always the most challenging because the nerves are there. It's early in the morning, but once you get that first squat under your belt, it's game on.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think every competitor can agree that when you come up to the platform, that first squat is really going to be the most nerve-wracking one. But once you get it on the board, it's all up from there.
All right, we got Riley. She's got the squat command. And she nails that one. 3 white lights for her as well.
And for those of you watching at home, if you take a look at our chief referee who is seated in front of the lifters, they're issuing commands to these lifters, ensuring that they're in a proper starting position for the squat and a proper ending position, and they receive both squat and rack commands. So the lifters aren't just lifting on their own as if they were in the gym. They have to listen to commands, which is another layer of difficulty added to competing.
All right, we got Jessica now. She's got 231 on the bar. And she makes that look like a warm-up.
A very easy opener for Jessica.
So, as we mentioned yesterday, for those of you that tuned in, when we're utilizing a monolift, you have 2 options. So you'll see these lifters either opt to kind of get set, and then they'll pull the monolift, and they can just drop into their squat from there, or they also have the option to walk their squat out. Either way, the judge is looking for the same thing before they give the commands. So there's really no difference there other than if you're utilizing the monolift, you get to drop into that squat a little quicker. But you'll see here that Tanya uses the mono.
And also take a look at the equipment she's wearing. Unlike the previous lifters who lifted and took their openers, she's using knee wraps, which is quite different than knee sleeves. And we can talk a little bit more about the difference after her squat. Very easy attempt. And for this competition, we have 2 separate divisions in terms of lifting equipment that lifters can opt to compete in. They can opt to compete in knee sleeves, which are essentially just neoprene knee sleeves that you slip right on, or you can use knee wraps, which is an additional layer of support, which would allow you to lift a little bit more weight.
All right, we got Becca up now. She 67.5 kilo lifter, opening up with 248. And 2-1. Looks like she might have had some depth called on her right side. So again, you'll see the red lights, but you'll also see the color cards. So the color cards all mean something. It's still very new to us, so you will see lifters asking the judges as well. But Gabriella up now, 259 on the bar.
And as a 60 kilo lifter, this is just about 2 times body weight squat for an opener.
It looks like she did give the lift, but maybe some depth called on that side. So all the lifters need to be successful in their attempt is 2 white lights.
Powerlifting is always a majority rule sport, so if you have 2 referees who give you a white light, that is a good lift. And inversely, if you have a 2-to-1 no lift, that means 2 referees gave you a red light. So we haven't seen any of that yet, but just keep that in mind for any of the no lifts in case we have any.
All right, Raylan is going for a state record attempt. That's a good lift for her. So just a clarification on the state records, the lifters can only set a state record in the state of their issued ID. So it's not the state that they're competing in, it's the state that they are registered. And of course, anytime a record is set, they are required to get their gear checked when they step off the platform to make that record official. All right, taking the bar up to 270 for Jennifer.
We're seeing some pretty fast openers this first round of squats. 3 white lights.
And that's what you want to see. You don't want to be grinding out your open.
Yeah, I mean, with squat and the opening attempt always being the most nerve-wracking one, you really want to go into it knowing that it's a weight that you're very comfortable with. Again, you're having to lift under competition standards with referees, with a lot of different variables coming into play. So the last thing you want is for your opening attempt to move a lot more difficult than you'd expect.
All right, we've got Emma with Gonzo's barbell taking her opener. And that's a successful attempt for her. Definitely didn't look like a depth issue from where we're sitting. Just making some adjustments now on the platform.
Just making sure that rack height's set appropriately for the upcoming lifter.
You'll see over with the day of the nice big break of the squats.
All right, so she is dropping into that spot. Very controlled descent, and that is a good opener for her.
That was a good football.
Yeah, it looks like she's dropping that rack height since it did take a little bit of difficulty to clear that J hook, so she will be dropping her rack height for her upcoming attempt. Hopefully, it will move a little bit smoother then.
We saw that quite a bit yesterday as well. So sometimes when lifters are getting the rack heights, the bar is not loaded, and when you get weight on that bar, it does make it a little different when you're unracking. So lifters do have the option to adjust their rack heights and the arms on the monos as well if something does feel off. All right, we got Courtney up now, 297 on the bar. We got 2 more lifters taking their first attempts, then we'll be moving into our second attempts in fly A. Again, another good-looking opener, and that is a good lift for Courtney. So lifters have 60 seconds after their attempt to make their next selection for their next attempt. If they do not declare anything and they miss the attempt, the weight will stay the same. If they do get the attempt, then it will only go up by 2.5 kilos. All right, Marin now with fight or quit.
That's very fast squat.
Looking very confident under that squat.
And she gets 3 white lights from the referees. We're now onto our final opening attempt squat of the first flight of this session. We have Gabrielle taking 160 kilos. 352 pounds for an opening attempt squat.
Gabrielle's here with Pinzer strength. Very fast opener for her.
And she gets 3 white lights.
All right, so we're fixing to strip the bar down and start with our second attempt here in Flight A. Tracy opening up or going her second attempt for a state record at 181. For reference, Tracy weighed in at 48.9 kilos. So this is a lot of weight for her. This is very impressive. So she got a little, looks like she dropped a little quickly, threw her off a little bit, but she recovered. Let's see. Yeah, so 2-1. Still a good lift for her.
She did get a blue card infraction, so I believe the referee might have seen some downward motion of the bar since she did come up a little bit uneven, but she's now getting her equipment inspected since she did break a state record.
All right, we got Riley up now, going for 203. Liza is up next. All right, that's a good lift for Riley. These ladies are starting us out strong today. All right, bar is loaded for Liza. 209 pounds on the bar for her.
She fights her way through that sticking point, and she gets 3 white lights quickly.
All right, we got the bar loaded now. 248 pounds on the bar for Jessica.
Yeah, it looked like an opener too.
I will say for lifters with the longer legs, it is quite challenging to get depth. It's just
long way up,
Wait.
long way down.
and we're looking at the hip joint relative to the knee. A lot of times you'll see lifters kind of fold over, but maybe not hit that depth. But she's executing it very well so far.
And as we move along into the second attempt, we're going to start seeing a little bit of strategy by some of these lifters in their difference of attempt selections. Some lifters might opt to take bigger jumps than others, and so it's more of a strategy game as we get down to it.
So something too that you'll notice at these higher level meets is the lifters, the execution looks the same every time, and that's what you want, right? You want every single one of your lifts to look the same from the warm up to the heavy ones, and you can really see the experience in lifters. When their attempts over and over again, they just look the same. Their setups the same.
Oftentimes, the moment you start seeing some technical breakdowns, that's when you start getting some issues with either cutting depth, folding over, or anything of the sort. So it's really nice to see a lot of these lifters executing a lot of green on the board.
All right, and she did not. That looks like both side judges saw some depth there. So she's going to retake that weight for her third attempt. All right, we got the bar loaded for Raylan. State record attempt 281. All right, she's got the squat command. So, yep, 3 white lights.
And a new state record.
All right, so the next 3 lifters are all going for 286. So the weight will stay the same on the bar. Jennifer up first. We got some fans in the chat. Thank you guys for joining us today. All right, she blew that out of the hole.
Very
Let's
good
see
squat.
if she 2-1. Yep.
Yep, 2 is all you need.
So again, I'm going to just quickly touch on the jury. So there is a jury here. Just kidding, that was yesterday. Just testing you guys, making sure you're paying attention. But there was a jury yesterday. So at our pro level meets and our national levels, we do have a jury that does come into strategy as well. Emma grinding through that second attempt. And she gets it.
And just to elaborate more on the responsibilities of the jury, so they're more so overseeing all the operations of the platform. So from the spotters, the lifters, and even the referees themselves. So if they are seeing anything that might not be in alignment with the rules set in place by Powerlifting United, then they can step in and sort of
So the jury is meant for lifters to have the opportunity when they get a call. So if they have, so they can contest it. But it's really the meet director that's the person responsible for anything else outside of the platform. All right, no depth on that one. That's okay. She's got one more chance to come back and get that. And a lot of times it's just a technical thing, right? So if they don't pick the bar very well, especially if they're utilizing the mono lift or their walkout's a little unsteady, it could be a lot of factors.
And one of the good things about having the color cards in place is that you get that instant feedback as far as what your infraction was, and not having to figure out what you got called for.
So Ponga's moving kind of like we saw Tammy yesterday, and that's a good lift for her. A very slow, controlled descent into the whole lift. Just looks, she looks so confident under the bar. So you'll see different techniques as well. We got lifters that will really use that bounce out of the hole, but she really slow and controlled, and it works really well for her. All right, we got Courtney up now. She pushes through that one. I think that was a good lift. Yep, 3 white lights for her.
And as we saw there, it was a pretty slow grind all the way at the top. There was no major sticking point there.
All right, so we got Marin up next, Gabriel following her up, and then we're moving on to third attempts. We are cruising through these squats this morning.
And that is a 2-to-1 good lift for Marin.
She's here with her coach, Micah Marino, who has been in the game for a long time. I think most know that name. All right, we got 374 on the bar. Will we see a 400-pound squat this morning? We'll see. 374. Let's go, Gabriel. Gabrielle, my apologies.
Her opener moved very well, so she's taking a 10-kilo jump from her opening squat to over to 170.
I think 10 kilos is a
Very reasonable, yeah.
Yeah, for squats, for sure. Looks like it, yes. All right, I'm excited to see what she goes for on her third.
3 white lights.
Do we have any predictions in the chat? Are we going to see a 400-pound squat in Fight 8 this morning? All right, moving on to our third attempts. Tracy up first. Liza is on deck, and Ryan is in the hole.
These are our third and final round of squats for this flight. So for any of you guys watching, this is where the lifters are going to need your support. We see our fans here on scene making some noise for these lifters. These are the heaviest squats for these lifters.
They should be the heaviest squats for the lifters. Otherwise, we call that sandbagging. That's a joke, by the way. All right, she pushes through that. That looked a lot. She looked a lot better than her second attempt, for sure.
And if you recall, in her second attempt, she kind of have a bit of a awkward ascend. I mean, she did kind of tilt the bar one way, so she did get called for up and down movement, but she still got a good lift, and she got her third three.
All right, Liza, let's see it. 220 on the bar.
Show us what you got.
Good job. Good save, spotters. Again, best spotters in the game.
However, Liza will be credited with 95 kilos to her squat, so she only loses out on 5 kilos, which isn't too much, but she will have bench and deadlift to recover from that.
All right, solid walkout. She looks very steady. Let's see. Oh, I thought she had it.
It's a little bit too much on the day.
You'll also see too, lifters have different sticking points. So, you know, it could be out of the hole for some. It could be near the lockout. But it's always interesting to me to see just where they kind of stall out at and if they push through that. All right, we've got Jessica up now with 264 on the bar. Oh man, she's exploded out of the hole. All right, 2-1. That's a good look for her.
We have a state record coming up now for Tanya. 120 kilos, 264 pounds. That is a very easy third attempt for Tanya and a new state record for her.
And while it looks easy to us, I'm sure these lifters are not feeling the same. It's always good though when something feels terrible to you, but it moves really well.
Yeah, I think that feedback from your peers telling you to quit sandbagging your third attempt squat, that is fairly rewarding.
Yeah, we have a saying, it's BBAB, and I won't elaborate, but the PG version is don't be a baby. All right, let's go, Becca. And she gets it.
She did miss her second attempt squat on depth and was able to recover and make that adjustment and hit it for her third attempt squat. Hopefully we see the same here with Gabriella. She did also miss her second attempt on depth and is retaking that same weight at 286 pounds.
I am vibing the whole fit for Gabriella, I will say. She is looking fire on the platform. Let's see if she gets this lift. I don't know. It's hard to tell from here, but let's see what the judges say. Yeah, so she got that one.
2-1. Good lift.
So sometimes the reasons why you'll see depth called just on one side, it could just be the positioning of the bar. If the lifter's feet aren't evenly set up, they'll shift the weight to one side. So it could be a lot of factors, but that is why sometimes we'll see it. And usually on lifters where you see it on one side, it's pretty consistent. So they have just that one side that they just.
Yeah, I mean, we're not built perfectly symmetrical, so sometimes people have slight hip shifts when they squat, so that's just a natural occurrence that might happen.
Well, I mean, I'm built pretty perfectly. I'm just kidding. All right, we got Jennifer up now. 303. Is she going to join the 300-pound club? Ah,
Just a little bit.
that right side just. Dang it. All right, so our next two lifters are taking the same weight. We got Emma up now, followed by Raylan.
Again, also trying to get into the 300-pound club.
You'll also see lifters when they're in the same weight class, right? They got their strategy to it. So, all right, we got. Is Raylan going to be the one to get it? We will see. I love that, though. I love when you have that competition. It's just good, friendly.
And as the competition just unfolds, we'll start walking through the placings. Obviously, it's too early in the competition to call anything, but this meet is going to be scored on a dots basis for a best overall. And we can follow that up once we get into the bench and deadlift portion, since it'll be much closer at that point.
All right, Raylan taking this 303 for a spin.
I think it also just goes to show how much these lifters are pushing themselves to their absolute limit, which is what you want to see. Obviously, you don't want to miss, but it's nice to know that these lifters are challenging themselves.
So yesterday we were talking about going 9 for 9, and what are your thoughts when you have a lifter that goes 9 for 9? Do you feel like they tried?
I think more than anything, it's a very good confidence booster, knowing that you went 3 for 3 on squats, 3 for 3 on bench, and then deadlift. That's where it matters, right? Because that's when you're pulling for the win. That's when you're really kind of jockeying for position. I think having a little bit of kilos left in the tank is always going to be more rewarding than missing lifts and knowing, kind of being on the fence on that. That's my personal take on it.
Are you power lifter?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an interesting take. And she pushes right through that sticking point. Very nice lift for her. And we finally got some fireworks this morning.
What about you? What's kind of your take when it comes to going 9 for 9?
I don't want to leave anything on the platform. I want to know that I gave it everything I got. Now, I get it for first-time lifters or new lifters. I think it is. I would agree in terms of confidence. But if I leave a meet going 9 for 9, my coach didn't call numbers well enough, or myself, and I feel like I didn't give it my all.
And obviously, in between those conversations, the goal is for you to go 9 for 9, but every single lift being like an RPE 10, right? Knowing that like you left everything on the platform.
Right. Well, but there's also strategy too, right? We saw it yesterday. Some lifters will scratch an attempt in order to preserve energy, maybe for another lift. Oh, and she pushes through it. I think that was a good squat.
Oh, just got called on depth by the two side referees. And just to add on to that strategy, so sometimes lifters might scratch their second attempt, take their first and third, or they might just take 2 attempts, first, second, and then make a big jump in between those and then scratch the third.
Yeah, and we'll see that oftentimes too with specialized lifters. So if they are really good at deadlifts and they want to preserve some of that, for deadlifts or maybe bench.
They might really only need 1 to 2 attempts.
Right. Marin is going for a state record here.
This is 2.5 times body weight lifted as a 60-kilo lifter.
And that didn't move like it was a third
very
attempt.
smooth squat there, 2-to-1. Good lift.
She is stoked over here, jumping up and down on the sidelines. We'd love to see that. All right, we got Gabrielle up now. She will be finishing us out here in Flight A for our squats. So she didn't opt for 400.
Just 5 kilos shy of it.
Yeah,
But
but that's okay. She's going for 391. And she is coming to the platform with the mission. Really making sure she's getting that bar tight on her traps.
lifters do have the entire 60 seconds to receive that squat command, so they have all the time in the world.
So in the hole, you could see a little bit of a shift. I think that threw her off a little bit, but still a good morning so far on squats. Everybody's in the meet, and we are moving on to Flight B.
There are 2 flights in this session, so meanwhile Flight B is lifting. Flight A is resting for a little bit, but they got to be warming up for bench press because we will have a small intermission after Flight B is done, but then Flight A is going to kick us back off in the bench press portion. So we got Flight B opening us up now. Eden taking 170 pounds for her opening attempt squat.
All right, the bar is loaded. She is a local lifter here, Surge Power Team. And she buried that. No doubt about that. All right, we got Claire up next, Jessica on deck, and Stephanie's in the hole.
And as we saw here, I think it's worth noting the importance of having a handler in competition. A lot of the times lifters already having a lot of things in their plate when it comes to warming up, getting in the zone, and having a handler just takes a lot off your plate when it comes to selecting your attempts. So that's one thing that's really, really crucial with a lot of these higher level competitions.
All right, so Claire is very high bar. So we'll see different bar positionings. Looks like she's got to take that a little bit lower. So going back to what you said about the handling, there's so many things that a coach or handler does on meet day. So they're looking at the factors of your lift and maybe things you need to clean up for the next one. They're asking questions to the judges if there's a red light. They're calling your next attempts. They're loading the bar in the warm-up area, really making it as effortless for you as possible. So all you have to think about is stepping on the platform and doing your thing.
Jessica Rapp taking 237 pounds for her opening attempt squat.
She's also here with Surge Power Team. That is a successful opener for her.
And we can talk a little bit more about the potential strategy that some of these coaches or handlers might implement in the event that a lifter misses a first or second attempt. So whether or not they decide to go up from there, if it's a small or minor technical adjustment, or if they might have to retake in order to risk not missing on a strength issue. That's the last thing you want, is to go up on a missed attempt and then miss it on strength on that following attempt.
And I think it depends too, just on the experience of the lifter, right? Because they have to. It's a mental game as well, and if they aren't mentally strong enough to, you just have lifters that you have to get that confidence squat in. So, all right, we got Stephanie up now, and that is 2-1.
Up next, 125 to 225.
All right, so we got Steven up next, 125. All right, bars loaded 275, representing Zia Strength Systems. All right, so I think Steven is actually in the afternoon session. So
I think
Yeah,
they
they
just
just-
forgot to adjust this flight, or session.
imagine being that. Imagine
You're
being
watching the
that guy.
live stream and then your name's called up.
Yeah, that's terrifying. All right, so we're just getting some stuff sorted out here. If we got still a little bit of confusion.
We just gotta update the overlay so our spotters and loaders know the next lifter to be competing. But I believe
I think we're starting second.
I think we have Nancy up next. Okay. That'll be session 1, flight B. Yeah.
You are correct. Why does my screen say Veronica? Because they marked Nancy as a no. All right, so we're getting this sorted out. All right, Nancy is.
So they cleared her attempt, and so now Nancy's the next lifter up next.
We all need caffeine this morning, including the IT systems. So if anybody wants to donate. All right, Nancy up now. Taking 265 for her opener.
Very eager to get onto the platform. Lifters have to wait for that bar to be called ready. Nancy's actually one of our locals here that trains out of Surge to new levels. Very deep squat.
Yeah, very good looking squat. And that is a good look for her. Sheriff Strength Systems. It looks like she is with.
All right, opening up that 25.
All right, bars loaded now for Veronica. So do you train here at Surge?
No, I live in the city, so I train at a few gyms out in Chicago. But I do come here on occasion whenever there's a heavy session, if you will.
Gotcha.
Very good attempt there by Veronica, 3 white lights. Yeah, Sergio has done such a great job in establishing a strong powerlifting community here in the Chicagoland area. And in case you might have forgotten, this is Power Surge 9. So this is the 9th consecutive year that this meet has been running. So you could probably say Sergio's been doing this for a while.
Yeah, I think you might know a thing or two. It's a good looking opener from Victoria. That is a good lift. All right, Jesse up next, opening up with 303 pounds. All right, bar is loaded for Jesse. All right, so we might start to see some different kind of hype techniques. We didn't shockingly see a lot yesterday. Everyone was kind of like calm and collected, but you might see some, we just saw some leg slapping, but it's always interesting to me to see how these lifters mentally prepare themselves. And she crushed that squat. That is a good lift for her.
Yeah, like mentioned, sometimes we have very stoic approaches to the bar where the lifters have to be kind of in their mental game in the zone, or others, sometimes lifters benefit off of that aggression.
Are you more stoic, or?
I'd say I'm more stoic, just very calm and composed. And then up until deadlifts, that's kind of when I get a little bit more aggressive with it. How are you?
I'm very similar. Usually by deadlifts, I'm about 4 shots of whiskey in, so I'm not really thinking about a whole lot. But yeah, I don't do a lot of crazy stuff. And that was
very easy.
That was a warm up, I believe, still for her. It's a good lift for Laura. I love when you see the lifters walking off the platform with a smile on their face because they locked in and they know it is game on. All right, so Danielle is storming the platform.
Very stomping her feet, very aggressive approach here.
And a very well executed squat.
It works perfectly for her.
You can tell too when these lifters, they just have this muscle memory. They do the same thing. That's what we were talking about earlier, over and over again. She was in and out of that squat so quickly, and to come to the platform that fast, set up that fast, drop and execute that so well, that takes practice and practice.
One of the biggest things about competing is you want to treat it just like training. Everything you've done in the gym, you want to do it here on the platform. You don't want to change routines up. You don't want to do anything different than what you've already been used to doing. And that's what we see from these lifters in their setup, in the way they do things.
You also don't want to buy brand new equipment that you haven't used before, or try new pre-workout the day of your competition. All right, we got another very high bar. All right, 2-1 for Katie. All right, we got one more lifter in Flight B taking their first attempt for a state record. Lily up now, 369 on the bar for her.
And I'll make a little bit of a prediction here, but I think Lily might be going over 400 today.
I think you're right. She's also a junior lifter, so she's 20 to 23. This is a respectable weight.
We see lifters all the way from teenagers lifting from as young as in their teens, and then we see lifters in their 40s, 50s, 60s competing.
Powerlifting truly is for everybody. And that was a beautiful squat. 2-1. All right, so we're gonna strip the bar down to 187 and start our second attempts here in Fight B.
We got another Surge Power Team athlete, Eden, coming up next, 187 pounds.
All right, we got Claire up next. Claire missed her opener at 90. She's going to retake that. Hopefully she comes back and gets this.
I think that's a good strategy, just retaking the attempt, especially if you're a newer lifter.
Yeah, it definitely. All right, I think she might have redeemed herself. She did.
And a very big sigh of relief knowing that, one, you're in the meet, and then two, you can now go up and hit what you think your max can be in. And I think sometimes you might take a bigger jump than you would anticipate, kind of trying to cover a little bit of ground that you might have lost from having to retake your attempt.
But again, that goes back to what you do in training. So just like your routine, if you're not taking big jumps in your training, you certainly don't want to do that on the platform. Jessica up now, 253. And that is a good look for her. Still moving very well.
Up next we have Stephanie, 121
All right, Stephanie up now. Stephanie's in our master class, 40 to 44, 270 on the bar. And I noticed we're seeing so many, I think men and women, but I've noticed that especially in the women, a lot more of our master lifters getting involved in the sport later in the game. And I love to see that because you can start at any point. Way to push through that. And she gets it.
And you can see when with her high bar position, she almost got pitched forward a little bit and almost good morning that squat, but she was able to recover and stand up with that weight.
Which I would argue is really challenging with high bar.
Yeah, I mean, with high bar, you can very easily be kind of taken off your center of balance with that bar kind of just moving side to side, forward and back. So very good recovery there by Stephanie.
All right, Nancy up now with 286 on the bar, making a 10-kilo jump from her opener. All right, so our next two lifters are going for 297. Victoria up now.
Come on, Victoria, you got it.
Looking very strong. So she got a yellow card. It could have been that the side judge saw her, maybe jumped the rack command. I'm not really sure.
Again, yellow card can kind of be sort of a catch-all with a lot of the infractions.
All right, we got Veronica up now again with Surge Power Team, taking 297 for her second attempt. It's very steady. She did look a little crooked. I'm not sure if she'll get called for depth on one side. Nope, 3 white lights.
Yep.
And I'm curious about your take, Kevin. So I feel like depth should never be called that you make from the front. So I'm just curious what you think about it.
So I am a referee myself as well.
Yes.
And I usually position myself not directly in front of the lifter, but a little bit off to the side. So I think in egregious instances, I feel like it is fair to call it. But in instances where it can go either way, you generally don't want to call it because, I mean, a lot of the times your perspective is very skewed because you're only looking at the front side of the lifter. But all that to say that I have called depth from the front, but only in instances where it's almost a unanimous three red light decision. Rarely do I ever have the 2-to-1 no lift, and then I call it from the front.
I've seen it happen too many times. I just. That's where you don't want to be, is calling depth from the front, and then your side judges are not doing that. All right, we got Laura up now, Surge Power Team as well, taking 352. And again, so the side judges are looking for the hip joint relative to the knee. So it must be below the knee joint, the knee, right? So they're not looking at the hip crease. They're not looking at those factors. And that's why, too, it's challenging when you're looking at a video or a lifter from the front to tell, because especially when you have lifters with bigger quads or bigger hips.
You can see the hip crease, but not the hip joint.
Yeah, right. So I think a lot of people get that confused. And that's still moving like an opener for Danielle. Oh, yeah, she is pumped. Looks like she's being handled by Naz, who crushed it on the platform yesterday.
And on top of the referees observing for depth, some of the other things that the referees are looking for is for the lifter's knees to be locked both at the start and at the end of the lift, for them to be in a fully upright position. So if you're starting off your squat, but your knees are bent and you're kind of hunched over, you're not going to get that squat command from that center referee.
And sometimes the front referee, it's not as evident. Most of the time it is, but if they do get that call, the judges typically from the side will let them know, hey, you need to lock that out. But we're looking for control from the start of the lift to the finish of the lift. In all three of them, squat, bench, and deadlift. All right, Katie taking 380. She did get a call for depth on one side last time, and she cleaned that up this time around. State record for her. All right, Lily made a jump from 167.5 kilos to 180, so a little over 10-pound or 10-kilo jump. So I think for sure we're going to see a 400-pound squat out of her today. This is 396.
And as we kind of saw a little bit with the last lifter who got called on depth or got a red light for depth on her opener, but not for her second attempt, a lot of the time, sometimes these lifters just need a little bit more weight to push them down and get deeper, especially for those using a lot of rebound out of the hole.
It's true. Or as Michael would say, I agree. Oh, yeah.
That is 2
So I'm not sure what the front fall was unless you saw that she wasn't. I really don't know. I'm not really sure what that call was. But as the lifter, that's why it's very important to ask so that you know. All right, we're moving into our third attempts here in Flight B. And that is a good lift for her. All right, so Claire came back, got her second, made a 10-kilo jump, taking 220 for her third, and the bar is loaded.
Look just about as good as the second attempt. Yeah, 2-1 lift.
So she has more of a, it looks like a segmented squat. So sometimes you'll see lifters, I think it's more common in lifters that are a little bit taller or maybe have a different torso to leg ratio, but they'll do more of like a go down and then they just gotta kind of dip the hips down. So it looks like a 3-step process.
And as you notice, she also used her coach as kind of a reference point and giving her the command on when to come up, just telling her down, 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 and then once that lifter achieves the proper depth, then she gets told up and then she squats up.
Yeah, those mental cues can be very helpful. All right, Jessica's taking 270. She fights through that. Let's see what.
2-1. There's almost at times when, from the live stream perspective, you don't want to call it too soon in saying that, like, let's see what the referees say on that for those that might look a little borderline.
I just call it how I think, and then if I'm wrong, and I own that.
That is also true.
All right, we got Stephanie. But again, like, we're sitting in a boxing ring, guys. We're up off to the side, so our view is certainly, I mean, we're looking at the live stream just like you, so we have the same view that you guys do. We're just making predictions, and that's why we want you to engage in the chat as well. Ask us questions. Thank you for those who have joined us so far. We got some Lily fans in here. Emma, Jessica. Now we got David fighting on the platform. All right, we got Stephanie up next.
And so I believe this lifter, I saw the conversation as they were going into the scoring table, that lifter did time out their attempt. So that means that they will run down the 60-second clock, and almost as a courtesy and a very good sportsmanship act, in order to give the next lifters an opportunity to have more rest time for their upcoming third attempt.
So it looks like she scratched her third. All right, Nancy wants this 300-pound squat. It's a 7.5 kilo jump for her. I think she's got it. Right, settling the bar. And I think
Fortunately,
that she really fought hard for that.
yeah, very emotional spot for Nancy, but unfortunately just
You
not.
can kind of see in the hole, though, she was really trying to push that depth. When you get heavy weight on your back that you just haven't felt before, what we typically see is either lifters will kind of subconsciously cut the rep range a little short because it feels safer to your body, right? Or they really sink it past the point of parallel where they have a hard time getting out of there. All right, we got Veronica also going 308.
That's about as perfect the third attempt as you wanted to be. Very good execution there.
I think that's an RPE 10. She is happy about that.
And just to touch back a little bit on the previous attempt we were talking about when it comes to depth, sometimes the lifter might also pitch forward and then they might think they're going low enough because their torso is shifted down, but their hips are just moved back and not down.
And that's what we were, earlier we were talking about the longer legged lifters. Sometimes it looks like more of a segmented squat because they kind of do have to push those hips down. I mean, we're all built a little bit different, and Victoria smashed that third attempt. But yeah, you'll see just a lot of different stances, techniques, bar positioning. It's definitely not a one-size-fits-all. We got a question in the chat, advice for people starting powerlifting. So I would say if you're new to powerlifting, just have fun with it. Try to learn from those around you. I think in terms of competing, though, anyone can compete. I think a lot of people have this perception they have to be strong, a certain strength, right, to compete. But I think there's a lot of value from competing. So what are your thoughts on that, Kevin? Jessie got that squat. Good for her.
Yeah, I think there's definitely two parts to it. One, if you're already thinking about competing, if you're on the fence about it, I think just do it, right? A lot of the times you hear the common question, I want to compete until I'm strong enough, right?
Right.
But if you keep going into it with that attitude, then you're never going to compete, right? Because you're never going to feel strong enough. You're never going to feel like you're ready to compete. And once you do it, you're setting yourself up from your first competition to then build off of it. And more than anything, to hire a good coach or find people in your community that are willing to support you as well in your powerlifting journey. I mean, powerlifting is a community, so there's a lot of people willing to help you. So that's also a really key player when it comes to competing.
It says a lot about the sport, too. All right, Laura taking 375, and I think she got that. Yes, ma'am. I just want to say one last thing in terms of coaching. So if you are new to powerlifting and you're looking to hire a coach, do your research on your coach. I think nowadays there's a plethora of information. There's a lot of coaches out there, but I think it's very important to know the history of your coach. What kind of athletes do they have? What's their training style? Because different coaches have different, methods that they use. So really do your research.
Yeah, I mean, treat it like an interview, right?
Exactly.
You're hiring them, you're paying them for a service. So do your due diligence, and if the coach really is serious about their service, they're going to be open to answering any question that you might have to ask them.
Exactly. All right, we got 2 more squat attempts. Katie going for 402. This will be a state record for her. All right. Settling the bar. Big brace. sometimes too, when the lifters really bounce out of that hole, it's hard to see. That was so fast. That did not look like a third attempt. She is definitely happy about that.
Lily Cash will be our last lifter of this flight, taking a state record as well. And for those of you watching at home, this is 407 pounds. This is the equivalent of 4 commercial gym plates for you gym bros out there.
I kind of love sometimes just getting into the gym and throwing on some old school plate. All right, Lily's zoned in here. Takes that big three. Oh my gosh. The fight out of the hole. You just don't see that every day.
2-1.
So I think the front judge called her for a downward motion. It was ever so slight, just at that little hiccup, but she got it. So we're going to take a little break and break down the platform and move into bench. So you guys take a break with us as well and come back and join us for bench.
back up. We're good to go. What is up, everybody? Welcome to day 2, Amateur Day. Power Surge 9. Luke, Jared. We're the ones on the stream now, commentating, so you got to deal with us, and we're going to be going into bench press. So here we go.
I'm great. Sorry.
Or Greg. See, it was a long day yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
It was a long, long day.
Yeah, I competed, so
Yeah, you did great. You did great. So we got Liz. Let's see, Liza Fleming coming up. She is going to be looking like opening up with 99 pounds on the bar. Liza is in our drug tested master and open class. See what she's got going on here. She gets set. Let's see how she sets up for this here.
You like to do a big arch?
She pretty much knew. She got one meet under her belt. She had Heartbreakers here back last year in 2024, where she set her 584 total. So let's see what she adds to that today. Great looking opening bench.
Really quick.
Yeah, really quick.
Now, do you like to set up a big arch when you bench?
I mean, big back with how short I am is I try to get as much of an arch as I can. Yeah, definitely. I'd set up on an arch, try to get my traps dug in, set on the bench. I think that's I don't understand how anybody could want to bench, just completely flat backed.
I won't say I'm flat back, but I can't set up super big of an arch myself.
It's a minimal arch, I guess. If you looked at it from the side,
yeah,
you could see a gap. But I mean, we saw some arches yesterday that looked like even the golden arches at McDonald's would be jealous. So looks like we got Riley Gill coming up
jealous of them more than anything.
Yeah.
Wish I had that flexibility.
Well, that's the name of the game, is trying to move as heavy as way as possible across a short distance. So let's see what Riley does here. 104 pounds.
A little unstable in the...
A little unstable, yeah. That's why she got a little bit more of a delayed press command, but she got 3 whites. But that is the one thing you got to do on this. You are not going to get a press command until that bar is motionless and stable.
Yes.
So that's something to really watch.
In the rule book.
It's not a pause.
So everybody that complains about pauses,
it's not a pause.
It is on you to make that motionless.
It is not. Yep. It is not a pause. So we have Fong up now, 132 pounds. Team Ignition powerlifting. She is in our Submasters tested class. Couple meets under her belt. Iron Rebellion last year is where she set her best total. Got an 816 total, so let's see what she beats on that today. 132 pounds. Opening up. Let's see if she sets here.
Self handoff.
Yep.
I feel like bench is the one, too, you see everybody has a lot more differences.
They do, yeah. We were talking about that even yesterday on the commentary. Just, in Fong's case, no wrist wraps, no belt, self-handoff. You can watch their foot placement. We have some people that have their feet all the way together under the bench. Feet can touch, but your feet cannot touch the bench itself. We have some up on their toes, others dug in on their heels. I think it's really whatever's going to work best to give you your leg drive. My setup, how I have my feet set, is going to be different because of how I need to activate my leg drive.
Yeah, grip width too.
Exactly.
It's like she's narrower here. I usually like to gauge with the rings on if they're wider or narrower. And within the rings there, I like to say that's more of a narrow grip.
So Tanya's taking the same weight that Fong just took. A little bit of a bounce there on the chest. Let's see what we have here. That bounce, I imagine you have that red on that center judge. Probably a little bit of a rush command. Side still gave it to her, so 2 whites, so it does count. But that bounce definitely probably.
It gets kind of hard to see on the side when they're bouncing because the plates get in the way.
Yeah, plates get in the way. You got to really be watching the bar because on the side judges are also not only are they watching the bar. They're watching your butt, see if that's coming up.
Yep.
They're watching your feet to see where it's placed.
Yep.
I think the bench gets overlooked with just how much is really going on. There is a ton of stuff going on all at once.
Easily the most technical.
Yeah, it is. It totally is. There we go. That's speaking of technical. There's another good one from Gabriella. That was same weight on the bar, the 132, 3 white lights there.
Being handled by John Hack.
Yep.
had himself a day yesterday.
He did. I imagine that's probably some good luck being handled up there.
4 points from his best dots yesterday. That was a bad day for him.
And that's what's insane. So we have Raylan Alvarez coming up. So again, same weight. This 132 is a big common opener, it looks like, for everybody here. Taking a handoff.
What is that, 132 pounds? So that's close to one plate.
Yep.
And your
pretty
bench,
exactly.
So kind of like a milestone number.
I think,
confident number for people to start with, and then they can make their probably see bigger differences in jumps as they go along.
Yep. Yeah, and that's one thing I want to kind of see compared to yesterday. I want to see the jumps that people take on bench, kind of where things really separate. That's what we noticed was yesterday there were a lot of, especially in the first sessions, a lot of by this point, a lot of 6 for 6 lifters. My second session, everybody was kind of, there was 4 for 6. There was a lot of people taking bigger swings. So I want to see if the big swings happen again here in amateur day.
I know myself, I took a very light bench opener just because shoulder pains and stuff like that happened during training day.
Opener, you always want
to kind of wait to see if they show up on main day.
Yep.
All those fun aches and pains of lifting heavy weights.
Especially on bench. Yeah, especially on bench is where it shows up. It's always an ache and pain. So we got Jessica Bogus coming up. Jessica in our drug tested open division. She's a 148 or 67.5 kilo class. She has 143 on the bar. Let's see how she sets up here. If you guys are on the live stream, make sure you pose some questions to us. We'll be able to answer all those for you. Let's see what we have here. Becca Ward coming up here. There we go. Good lift right there.
The kind of thing to note too about a meet here like Surge, we have a lot of national level refs on the platform too.
Yep.
So Maddie has done American Pro, Surge, Ghost. He's done quite a bit of these these pro level meets, nationals, etc.
Yep.
So lifters earning these lifts today are not getting off easy.
No,
they're going to be put to a very strict standard.
Especially Jennifer was here yesterday helping handle and run a bunch of the pro lifters. So here she is now turning right around and competing today.
Yeah, being handled by Jeremy Alexander.
Yep.
I got the opportunity to compete with him yesterday.
Yeah.
Get my butt beat by him too.
Jeremy's strong. He's strong.
Very strong.
Yeah, very obviously. Let's see how that looks there. 3 whites.
Had that really nice touch and then went.
Yep.
Got that press command just how she wanted it to look like.
So Greeno coming over. Jennifer coached by Greeno. He's calling out the attempts there for her. The one thing to note is that all these lifters you see right here, it's amateur day of power surge. Doesn't mean these people are completely inexperienced. Or the level of lifter that they're at, these are people you're going to see probably next year stepping on to the prime time, onto the showcase, the pro day of power surge. These are people that are really at the top of what I'd call the amateur class. Especially, we have in the second session some of the names coming up. They could already step over and compete.
I think
on prime
some
time
of them just missed the sign-up window for the pro day, so they I still want to go.
I think it was just literally a matter of time. I think it was literally probably a matter of timing. Like, I got off work a half hour late that day, and it was full. Yeah, there's a few of those coming up. So by no means, just because this is the amateur day, does that mean it's amateur hour. There are going to be some big lifts that are coming up.
Or just even they knew their spouse, their friend, their whoever was going to be on the pro day, and they're just a little bit bigger, and they're like, "I'll come handle you, and then you can handle me the next day."
So here we got Gabriel coming up. Gabriel has got 192 on the bar as an opener, 82.5 kilo class. We're starting already on first attempts. We're already starting to cross over to almost 200 pounds on the bench. I mean, that's awesome. This is great to see.
Advice for people starting powerlifting: just lift,
Yeah,
start doing it,
and compete. We said this yesterday.
compete, film yourself during your lifts, and kind of look where you see you're making mistakes, and then if you get to a point, start looking into a coach.
Yep, and that control from Gabriel right there. 3 whites, perfect pause, perfect stop, not even pause, perfect control and stop of that bar. She got 15 meets under her belt. So
Handled by Josh Kinzer.
yeah, exactly. 15 meets under her belt and 975 total. So like I said, we got a lot of experienced lifters that are competing here today, and we're hitting the first flight. We have Marin that is up, or the first round, I guess. Marin is up 198, opening at 198. So let's see what we have here.
Marin handled me at my last meet at Ghost Clash,
Okay.
so it's kind of fun to be able to watch her
Yep, to be able- yep.
today. And she's had a great squat. That third squat
You know what
flew.
I love is that. Oh, let's
Looks like
see.
we're-
Yeah, it looks like a little bit of a
little weird on
bobble
the-
right there on the.
You misheard maybe the
Probably
press
an up
command
down.
almost.
Yep, there's that up down. Yeah, I don't know if it was missed or a stutter. Definitely not a strength issue, because when she took that bar and she unracked it, she actually held it and registered the weight, which I think is a really key important thing on the bench press. You see a lot of people, I call it dive bomb. As soon as you're unracking, you're already out of the rack. You're already coming down. You want to let your body register the weight, your tendons, your joints. So not just you have to register that load. Essentially, you're storing up the energy, the capacity to be able to press that. She did really well there. So I think it was
taking
just
it down and being able to load up your lats in that way too.
Yep, exactly.
That's really important.
So I think we'll have to see what she calls
she
here.
just had a little. She might have heard the press command a little early,
Or,
and then didn't actually say it, because she looked like she was about to press and then realized she didn't.
Yeah, so Tracy back up, bench here. Small jump, 42.5 kilos from her 40-kilo opener. 3 whites right here. So she's continuing on the board here. Liza's coming up next, opened at 45 kilos. Has 50 on the bar now. So nice decent little 5-kilo jump on bench. 110 pounds up there for Liza.
Here we go.
Talking about feet way back underneath her, up on her toes. Let's see if she slides her heels into place here. Or stays up on her toes. She's going to stay up on her toes. Self handoff. Fast and down into. Presses it right up. 3 white. That looked easy.
Yeah, it looks like
That looked like an empty
kind
bar.
of really locked in. Again, just everybody has their own kind of different, and you really, really, really see it on bench. Just she locked in and then just pulled it out as setting the lats.
Yes.
So
I
then
think
she didn't need to adjust anything else afterwards.
Nope, not at all. So here's Riley. Back up Riley at 115. Team BBM.
Handled by Marissa, I believe. Body by Marissa.
Yeah, Team
She's,
BBM, body by Marissa.
I think she's local to Chicago.
Yeah, yep, she is.
I believe so. A little bit of a bounce on the chest.
Yes, there's a lot of I do know there's a lot of that. That's
Quick
going on.
press command, but
They're not getting so they aren't getting soaked. That is probably one thing that all of these coaches and handlers are watching is how quickly they are calling the press command. That's one thing that's it is kind of nice not to be soaked all day. If you bring it down and you control it, you should get that press command right away. There's no need to have a 3-second wait.
And even as a ref myself, watching and trying to judge when to give people the press commands is really hard. Like you don't know how everybody is. They touch because some people touch really light and you don't know if they're done. If you give it too early and they keep pressing down, now they have downward.
Well, and that is one thing that's on the lifter. I think that's where it becomes the lifter's responsibility. Like you said, when you don't know if they're done, there are those lifters that are going to sink their bench if they don't let the judges know. I think that's kind of on them if they get a red light on that press. So there we go. A little bit of a grinder at 143, but
still,
there's and must have been a little bit of downward motion on that. There was a little bit of a hiccup and I think they're going to retake that same weight, which probably a good call. Yeah, they did. They called 65 kilos again for Tanya's third attempt. So Gabrielle up next here.
I kind of think unless you're really trying to win money, not going up is usually the smarter call.
Yeah.
If you really miss on just a technicality, small technicality, like a rush command or something like that.
Yep.
When you're
Get the
100%
lift,
confident,
lock it in for your total.
it's hard to, especially if you grind it a little bit, it's really a tough call to go up.
Yep. So Gabriella up now. Still same weight, 143 on the bar.
Very solid.
Very solid press. So 3 whites right
Starting
there on
up for
that.
a strong third.
Yeah. Long coming up with 148 on the bar.
Give a shout at these spotters and loaders. These guys did great yesterday, and they're still killing it today. It was hot yesterday, and it's getting warm already.
A little bit warm in here, but it's not as bad as it was yesterday. So it's the same crew that's running, spotting and loading. That's a long day. That's exhausting. That's a lift, a lift and a workout all on its own.
Especially doing the pro day first, where they're already getting pretty beat up on some of those
with
catches.
heavier, exactly, with
catches
heavier
were
lift.
rough.
Yeah, we did. We saw David basically Zurcher catch.
Yeah.
7.
It was a 6.
It was mid 6.
650, 660, something like that.
Yeah. Caught it, cradled it, and cradled it, and
Lifter unfortunately blew out a patella. Hurt his other knee, so had nothing to help David with. So it was all on David to catch.
And here he is again. Here he is, just up running around.
Yep.
I've seen him do that several times though. Do a Zurcher catch like that. It's pretty impressive. So here we go. This is impressive. Emma with her 148 pounds second attempt. That is good. So we have Raylan coming up. Raylan's actually one of our juniors, our 18 to 19 juniors that's competing at 148 in the tested division. Weight's going to stay the same on the bar.
You said 18, 19?
18, 19, yep.
Yeah. Putting up some really nice.
Yeah, so 18, 19 years old and already pressing almost 150 with her second attempt.
State record attempt as well.
Yep. We've had a lot of records set so far this weekend. Really good control.
Not quite there.
Just not really right. Not quite there. That was a little bit of a large. I mean, she went from 60 to 67.5 kilo.
Jump about 15 pounds-ish. So.
But so they're going to call that again. We got Jessica coming up. Jessica Bogus, 70 kilos, 154 pounds on the bar.
I think bench is also the lifter. You have to be more strategic, too, because grinding out a bench can really mess you up going into deads if you really cramp those lats up.
Yes.
So you have to be very cognizant of how your second moves and if you really want to try to push it or not.
So do you prefer, how fast of a moving meat do you prefer?
I like them quicker. Then I don't have to warm up as much and I can save some energy. It just depends too. Like yesterday was pretty warm, so like a little time to cool off is appreciated.
Yeah.
Just kind of depends on the environment.
Yep. I mean, the flights themselves, as long as it's about 10 minutes or so between lifts, I like 8 to 10 minutes between lifts. I've had less. I've had 5 minutes, which I've been fine with that.
5 minutes is pretty brutal.
It can, well, yeah, but if it's moving fast, it's almost a benefit. You're not, I think that mental drain more than anything else over a long 6 hour meet, 6-7 hour meet compared to if you're done in like 3 hours, 4 hours.
Yeah.
I found myself I was able to stay pretty fresh.
I've been pretty lucky, and the feds that I'm competing in have been more sessioned anymore, so I haven't had to have those long 6-hour days anymore.
I wonder what Becca missed there, because that was there was a center and then the right side, so 2 reds on that. They're retaking that weight. I wonder if maybe she rushed that press command. Looked like it went a little fast. So here's Jennifer again, like I said yesterday, helping handle. There's her coach in the background. Greeno kind of keeping an eye on things.
Yep.
Got Greeno and Heidi back there. they've been busy all weekend. They've had lifters all
Today's
over
their
the
slower day. They only have her today.
Today's their slower day.
I'm Coach Vigrino myself,
Yep.
so I put him to work yesterday.
Yeah, he was all over the place yesterday.
He said, I talked to him a little earlier. He said he loves more lifters.
Yep.
Staying busy and kind of the chaos.
So there's Jennifer doing a very good job with just registering the weight. Solid press, stuck right through it. 3 whites on there. Good lift. Good lift. So now we've got Courtney Hansen coming up with 70 on the bar. See what Courtney's going to do here. I mean, she's a 67.5 kilo, 148 lifter. Tested.
Went up 5 kilos.
Tested.
Solid.
Yep.
Usually a pretty good call. 5 kilos is not too aggressive. Depending on where the weight is at, kind of these lighter weights, you want smaller jumps to not overextend.
Yeah. So she brings out herself.
Very solid.
Yep.
Looks good.
Looks like, yep, and 3 whites. Yep, she's even going over. She's calling her shot. So
Now, do you like to do like a specific kilo range when you take your jumps, or do you like percentages more?
usually it's set weights. It's usually set weights. I kind of know where I'm gauged at. There's certain numbers I want to hit. If things are stalling out, if I'm having a bad day, then it might be percentage. It might be really small percentage jumps, but bench I'm usually pretty solid at, so I can take some pretty big swings.
Yeah, you've got a heck of a bench.
Thank you, appreciate it. Let's not talk about my deadlift. Don't mention that.
See how Marin looks here.
Right. Again, really controlled.
Wow.
That's much better. Okay. Marin did way, but that. So basically, she reached up to 90 kilos. So her second attempt, or her first attempt on that, where she kind of bobbled and rushed that press command, that was totally different. That looked like a perfect press. She obviously nailed it with 3 whites right there. So good job coming back and getting that. Her coach, Micah, calling out some more numbers before moving her up to 100 kilos.
Probably taking what they wanted for the third.
That's it. Yep. Exactly. I think they just stepped
Maybe
right.
a little under.
I think they just skipped that jump on the sec. Yeah, I would do that. You know, it's not a strength issue. You know the weight's there. So
You made that one fly. So
yeah. So 100 kilos. That's definitely, I think, the right call. So now we have Gabrielle, 203 pounds on the bar.
Gabrielle is out of Indy City Barbell.
They've got a lot of lifters that were here. They had lifters here yesterday. Can be.
Yep. No, it's not quite, unfortunately. Got a little off. Might have been a little setup. They might be able to retake that and still get that.
Here's Team BBM, embodied by Melissa Tracy, coming back up. To start, third attempts. 45 kilos on the bar, just shy of 100 pounds. Tracy so far setting up a nice day. She gets this. She's 6 for 6. See what our live stream, the chat's saying. A lot of people going, go Coach Lily, Raylan, Lily. A lot of Team Lily and Raylan, looks like. So let's see how she goes here. Let's see what Tracy gets. Here we go. One thing I noticed, and again, different forms, different setups. Elbows flared out. She has her elbows flared.
Right on the middle there.
Yeah, so normally, you see a lot of lifters kind of tuck and keep their elbows in, engage in usually more lats, more pec. Usually when your elbows are flared out, that's a lot more shoulder dominant press. Liza coming up at 2.5 kilos, 115 pounds. So what do you think of that? Do you think, would you rather have a 9, this is something I asked Christy yesterday too, we were just kind of talking about all day. Would you rather have a 9 for 9 day, or would you rather maybe go 7 for 9, 6 for 9, or maybe even go 3 for 9, but nail PRs and know you're swinging for the numbers you need to?
I've never gone 9 for 9, and my best meets honestly have been like 5 for 9 days hitting PRs. So
yeah,
if you're hitting PR, I feel like it's hard to argue with the day.
Well,
Could have been more, yes, but you still PR'd, so
You PR'd
it's hard
it.
to argue.
Let's see her if she's grinding.
My best.
There's a good. Liza grinding that one out. Let's see what it. There must have been a little bit of downward motion on that. A little hard to see, but that was a hard press. She grinded that out. I've had one
gone 8 for 9, and I didn't really hit any PR, so that was a.
I had one 9 for 9 day, and I set a total PR on that. So that I did take that as a win, but my best days have usually always been an 8 for 9, or 7 for 9, because at some point I'm just swinging for something that that I've never hit, and either I get it or I don't. But those have been my best total, my best day, my best meet. It was 8 for 9. See what Riley's doing here.
Down.
Yeah,
got our lats loaded very much.
Not loaded. There was a lot of bouncing on the chest there, so I think that she kind of.
Didn't quite have the
I think
time
it wasn't. Yeah, it wasn't braced, wasn't tight. That just kind of didn't start well. No, but I think if you're going 9 for 9, especially like if you see a lifter that's gone 9 for 9 multiple times, I think they're leaving a lot out on the platform. I think you're playing it too safe.
Sometimes I feel like it depends on the goal of the meet too. If you're trying to hit qualifying totals for a meet or for something specific, 9 for 9 is usually the better way to build up your total slowly. In case you miss something, you can pick up a little bit more by making a little bit more conservative calls, where you don't necessarily need to hit those PRs. Once you get into the more like pro level meets or the nationals where you're going to try to win, you sometimes do have to take those bigger swings.
You have to. Yeah, I think you have to take a bigger
play
risk.
The game.
Yep.
Try to win. And if you're not in a position to win too, then it can sometimes not make sense to try to take those.
What's the?
If you're trying to break a record, then too, you might have to take a swing for something that's a little outside of your comfort zone. So that's where I can see maybe missing, and maybe even taking it twice if you have the opportunity. If you hit a comfortable opener and then you just swing for it twice.
I wonder how many lifters today, like would it be an amateur class compared to maybe yesterday with the pro, are taking swings at weights they've never even attempted in prep or on platforms prior.
I would probably imagine a good number. I mean, these are the amateur day. They're probably done a few less meets, so it's easier to hit those PRs too. Once you've done 4, 5, 6 years, it gets hard to hit PRs. Especially a PR on every single lift. So I hit one PR on my squat yesterday. That was all I had.
Raylan, almost there. Raylan was trying to grind that out, that third attempt there. So she did get her first bench, not get her second. So we'll see her coming up in deadlift again here. So we got Emma coming out. Emma Summers, 154 pounds on the bar. So far, she's hit her other 2 bench attempts. Let's see how this one goes. Small little 2.5 kilo jump.
I think we all missed the days when we were a lot more fresh and just every week you could hit a new PR. And then every month you hit a new PR, and just slowly it gets further and further away.
Every week it's some type of a PR.
But we love to watch other people hit their PRs too.
The one looks like that one's great. So didn't quite make that one there.
Yeah.
Becca Ward up here, sticking with the same weight on the bar, 154 pounds, 70 kilos.
So we do have our yellow. PLU did implement the color card system. So that was all yellows on that one. If you see, that's just a general failure. Blues generally soft.
Soft lock. Something just not locked out. Not completed.
So usually, because she didn't get it all the way, that usually would be red as just a general failure. Yellow's like technical miscommands and such, which they might have. She didn't make it the rack command. So.
That goes 3 white lights there.
Good lift.
So give it the same weight, still staying on the bar for Gabriella. 154 pounds. Good job taking her time, registering the weight. Very good
Good fight through his
control,
bang through it.
and
Yep.
stuck right through it. You
looks
notice
like
she has a wider stance too.
Yeah.
Her legs are out pretty far and feet turned out, but stable. She was very stable during that entire press.
The wider out and being able to place your feet a little more
Turned out, yep.
Turn out, let's really
Externally
drive
rotated.
it back and back into the bench.
Yes. Yep. That is how you're basically able to drive. So leg drive is not. It's not up. It is not. Everyone thinks you're
back.
pushing up. It is
Back
back.
into
You
the
are-
bench and-
Yep. You're basically pushing your trap back and down into the bench.
And you don't want it to be the push of the movement. That usually,
Right.
if they do that, you usually see a heave.
Yep.
You want it
Yep.
more to be kind of consistent through the lift.
It's steady.
And then,
It's pressure. It is constant, steady. Maybe increasing pressure, but there's not just a heave to it. Fong up here, ignition powerlifting.
going, if she gets this, she'll be 6 for 6 herself. A little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
It looks still strong.
Now 3 whites.
Certain weight, it just gets really hard to fight that weight all the way down to, and you just kind of let it gravity do its work.
Yep.
And you have to.
So again, and then yep.
You have your lats loaded as much as they can anyway, because of the weight, and then it's not as big a deal trying to drive back out because your lats are still ready to go.
Engaged. Jennifer Anno up, 165 pounds. She's going to close out her final bench attempt. Steady, good press, and 3 white lights. I would agree with that. So Jennifer went 3 for 3 on bench, 5 for 6 so far today. Put together a good day.
It'd be a little hard to tell from our angle if the butt is coming up when you do see some of the
the angle that
they're disengaging.
Yep.
Always just leave a little room for question of where up at this view.
So we have something to turn on. It looks like Gabby Grubb as well too. 166 pounds up on the bar here for Jessica. This was her 3rd attempt. Yep, it's a state record attempt here. I haven't seen a whole lot of it today like I did yesterday, but there were some pretty close grip benchers yesterday that were actually pressing very well. Everybody here seems to be more of a standard like competition grip with, or even like almost a wide grip.
We might see more closer grip later.
Yeah.
From what I've seen in the history, it seems like women usually go a little wider, get a little more pec involvement. Close grip usually use a little bit more tricep. That kind of favors men that are able to build a bit bigger triceps with more.
I think too, once the weights get heavier and once we need to see more tuck, especially on the bar, I think we might see some different grip variations also. False thumb. Maybe some suicide. I think.
What kind of grip do you use?
False thumb. I have my thumb under the bar. I find that it helps me maintain better rotation, actually get the tuck engaged, where before when I was always just a standard grip, but I was more flared out.
I do a little bit more of a bulldog grip.
Bulldog,
I
yep.
just get my thumb around it, just to lock it in. Sometimes even when I'm warming up, I'll just do a false grip.
Yeah. I remember when I was first suggested to me, I stuck to it. I didn't like it at first because it sure felt different.
It feels better in my shoulders.
But I've noticed, exactly, my shoulders have thanked me for it. So there's Gabrielle. Gabriella is getting her attempt there. Now, remember, she missed her, yeah. Courtney got that one handy. So Gabrielle is coming back up to get, she's going for 92.5 kilos, which she missed on the last one. I think they maybe called a little bit of up-down movement on that. So we're going to see what happens here with this retake.
So her last attempt, she got a little off on the little sinking on the right side. So we'll see if she can maybe, if it was just unequal setup on the bench, and she'll get this one. Yeah. Looks better.
That
Much
looked a lot better.
Yep.
Let's see what happens here.
Yeah.
3 whites on that. So she came back and
took
got
it.
that one. That's pretty good. That's always good to come back and get the weight that you missed.
It's
So
frustrating sometimes when you just set up not quite on the bench, you're a little in your head,
little-
rush. I've definitely have it happen myself where I'll have a lat slip. I tuck and then I come down and it just slips out and then I'm uneven coming up.
Mine's always my right foot. My right foot always wants to slip. Always my right. So Marin Meyer, final lifter, light A, session 1.
They took their bigger jump from second to third.
Yep,
And then
this is what Micah called the bigger jump. So let's do it. 100 kilos, 220
good
pounds.
for it, but we'll see here what she can do. That 90 was super easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I was talking to her a little bit before, and she said she was worried about bench. Just
And there it is right there.
Very easy.
Yep, that looked great.
That was the bench she wanted today.
Yep.
She is over the moon, it looks like.
Yep.
Quite happy.
That was a good call. That was a really good call. So we wrap up the third attempts of Flight 1. We're going to roll right into Flight B with their first attempts. Jessica Rapp starting us off with 110 pounds on the bar.
She is in happy tears right now. I'd love to see that.
Yep. So Jessica coming up here. Once the bar is loaded. 622 pound total. 2 meets under her belt here. See how she's going today. So far, she's 3 for 3. She does have a 9 for 9 meet. Her other meet was 8 for 9. So she sets up pretty well to complete the day.
Surge power team, so local to the gym. Always fun to compete in your own gym, I think. Makes it
Definitely
sleep in your own
familiar
bed.
ground and makes that look easy. That's a good opener. Smoked that.
Oh, just a little bit of delay on the lights, it looks like.
Yep.
Unfortunately.
There we go. 3 whites on that. Eden Bendorf, another Surge power team lifter.
I feel like it makes a big difference being able to sleep in your own bed, not travel, being able to eat your regular food.
Oh, it's huge.
Keep your regular day.
Sleep in your own bed.
Not having to go earlier for weigh-ins. Do your day.
So Eden opening up with the same weight of that fellow Surge team member. Jessica opened up with 50 kilos. Getting set up, planting her feet. A little bit of a narrow foot stance. Coming down. There we go.
Very easy.
Yep. That was good. Yep. Claire Johnson, Rabba, up masterclass lifter.
The unfortunate part for us is that every opener bench should look pretty easy.
Yes. I didn't see a whole lot of backstory or history on Claire. This might be one of her first meets that she's done. So we'll see how this kind of goes today. I mean, so far, only missed 1 spot, so she's definitely in the meet.
Maybe
A little bit of a wobble on the bench there, where that one red is coming. Yeah, so the one judge did see a little bit maybe of
down.
up down. But she got 2 whites, so she is in with that bench as well. Nancy Rodriguez coming up. Coached by Matt Sherifinski. So Team STS training. Matt, a really good coach. Has competed here himself many times on Pro Day.
Strong himself.
Very strong himself. Very, very knowledgeable. Very good coach. Just really good guy in the sport. Really, really good dude in the sport. It's been awesome. I've competed at a few meets with him. Just a blast to lift with him. So, his lifter Nancy having a good day so far. Smoking
textbook bench there.
Smoking her opener there. That's great. So we'll see what they move up to. I think Matt was telling me he's got a couple lifters in the second session of today too, so he'll be busy today running around. We'll see him quite a bit on the stream. So Veronica Buzelis, and I really hope I am getting these last names right, guys. If you are someone on the live stream and you know these people and I am butchering their names, by all means, call me out, give me the pronunciation, shout it out, whatever. I hate it when people mispronounce my name, so I get it. But Veronica opening up here at 137 and just sends her right up there. 3 white lights. Good job, Veronica.
Another good opener.
Yep, so she's in the open and also the submaster class, tested. Danielle coming up now.
A lot of submasters and masters in this. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool to see. That
We used to not see a whole lot of submasters. There were a lot yesterday. There's a lot going on today, so that's a good thing to see. I mean, there are some lifters. That's one thing I was calling out was one of the best lifters that won, Susan Salazar. She did not start competing until she was a submaster. All the way back in 2011, and here she is now competing. Started as a submaster, competing 14 years later. 14 years later, and wins. Like, that's just so that you guys. There's never a wrong time to get into the sport.
right. The best time to start is now.
Yep. Danielle showing that right there. Submaster and open, getting a very, very good bench right there. Danielle's got an 892 total, so she's going to add to that today. 6 meets under her belt already. So. Yeah, I've watched Susan Salazar lift for a long time, but just the fact that you can come in and I come in as a submaster and give everyone a run for their money and do what she did yesterday was awesome. It was great just kind of talking to her here real quick. Stephanie coming up here, getting set up. You can see that arch getting set in. She got 148 on the bar, self handoff. Takes her time after the unrack, slow into the hole.
Nice
Slow press, but everything looked controlled and smooth. 3 white lights. Stephanie was one that competes back home in one of the meets that we do a lot back home, where she had set her total. So kind of lifters kind of coming from all over the country, even on amateur day, to compete here.
Yeah. We had people from even out of country yesterday.
Yeah, we had. That was the awesome thing was they knew about Surge. People from France, from England, they've heard of Surge 2 levels, and they were coming here to compete. So and it wasn't just one. There were 4 lifters.
I know the one French lifter because he came to. I did Ghost with him then earlier in April. And he's very strong.
Yeah, he is
Incredibly strong.
He is. I think he put together a decent day. So Victoria Conley up now, 176 on the bar as an opener. Victoria in our 125 class. Again, here we go, another lifter, self handoff, no wrap, no belts. Takes her time. And wow.
Oh, I think we just rushed that rack.
It was so fast. I said, "Wow!" But that also then means, you kind of rushed the rack command. She had the press. The press command was fine. So when you're benching, there's 3 commands you really have to listen for. You have to listen to your start. You have to listen to your press, and then the biggest thing is, even when you press it, you're locked out. You're still not done because you have to hear that rack command. You have to show control at the top of that lift.
There could be some variations or differences in the rules between federation and federation.
Yep.
Some will not do a start.
Yeah.
But there is pretty consistently always a press and a rack.
In a rack, yep. So Laura Sanchez up now, 176 on the bar. Laura's in our 90-kilo class. Laura's competed kind of across everything: raw, single ply, unlimited.
Very clean open.
Yeah, very clean. She actually set her, so she's got a 909 raw total. She set that last year here at Surge at Rhino's Revenge. So looks like she's looking to continue to do the same thing here today. Because so far she's put together a perfect day so far. So Jesse Meltzler up now. 85 kilogram class here. 187 on the bar. I mean, we're going to see some people opening in this flight with over 200 pounds on bench. So that's great for a women's flight. That is going to be awesome to see. Let's see what Jesse.
Not even on the pro day.
Exactly.
That's what we're saying. These are not necessarily just amateurs. Some of these are quite good.
That looked like a pretty much. That was a pretty technical, just up and down press. 3 whites on that. Lily Cash up now.
Same weight as Jessica.
Yep. Now Lily's in our junior class, 20 to 23 junior class. 110 kilo weight class, but a junior.
Telling the spotter how she would like a handoff.
Yep.
Always important to make sure you get a good handoff when you're getting them.
Yeah.
A long one can pull your shoulders out of position, can push you too far down or up, and you end up using more energy just to get back into place. So really telling them how you want it precisely, and then even like giving them
I would say there's probably nobody better if you're having a brand new handoff guy to do that for you. There's probably nobody better than David to do that.
Yeah.
And he's gonna definitely know what to do.
And then just even giving them the feedback next time you go up, like, hey, that was perfect first time, let's do it again, or hey, give me a little bit further out, or hopefully it's just something small and not.
So here's our 200 plus bench opener, Katie Andes, 231 pounds on the bar as an opener, 105 kilos.
Looks like she's being handled by Edward Blair, one of the big meet directors for this meet himself.
Yep.
Very big bencher himself.
Big
500 plus.
Big lifter, just
in general.
And Ed's awesome. Just
super nice.
The guy will do anything for the sport and help anything out. Like you'll see him running all over for this meet. So let's see what Katie does here.
Oh, easy.
Yep. 3 whites. Yep. I would say bench is probably her lift. Yep, Ed getting with her. They're calling out the second attempt. So let's see what they put on the board for the second attempt. So that brings us back up to the top of the flight. That brings us back up there. So Jessica Rapp back up at the top of the flight here. Small little jump from her opener, 50 kilos. She's up to 52.5 kilos. You do hear that when you hear bars loaded. The clock starts. They've got a minute to get out here on the platform and at least get under the bar and pick it or unrack it.
Yep. And once you're unracked, you are clear on time.
Yep. I think that was a perfect example right there, Jessica. Like you could hear that really well. You could hear the start command. She still waited another about 2 seconds. Waited until she knew she was set up and she felt good before she even started down on the descent on that. So really good control.
I like to wait for the start command to even just take my breath before I'm gonna take the brace.
Yep.
Just so I'm not sitting there holding my breath like an idiot.
Yeah.
You don't know when they're going to give you the start command, so just sitting there holding your breath, then trying to go and trying to press through, you can run out of breath, and then that's not a great place to be either.
You don't like seeing stars? You don't like losing focus?
I have some issues with that.
I already do.
Just from the pain when I bench from my shoulder problems. So I usually close my eyes when I bench. I can't keep them open.
Okay.
It's just close my eyes, grit my teeth, and get through it.
So here's Eden, 121 pounds on the bar, 55 kilos. Yep.
I heard the press command there.
Yeah, I don't think you did because they didn't have time to get that. She was already pressing, so that's why we had the 3 reds there.
Gotta watch those commands.
Yep.
She got her opener, yeah.
Yeah. Looks like and she's retaking the same weight for her final for her third attempt.
It's a smart call.
Yeah.
So there's no reason to push. Just make sure you get a little bit more on the board.
So you have Claire coming up next. Claire taking a small 5 kilo jump from her opener, so 57.5 kilos, 126 pounds.
Really narrow grip there. Almost,
really good
almost
tuck.
to the end of the curl. But a little.
Oh, we'll see what this does here.
What they say?
Yeah, that was
so it'll look like
side
it's a little
judges were gonna,
downward.
yeah, because that from the sides, that uneven. You saw that from our angle here. You see how uneven the bar path was on the press. There's gonna be, it's pretty much impossible to avoid any type of downward motion when it's that uneven. So side judges both red lighted it.
That's where you just really want to lock in those lats again and just.
Yep. So
It's just really a total body movement. Getting that leg drive that keeps your backs like tightened and tensioned, and getting those lats tensioned as you bring the bar down.
Yep. So here we go.
Keep that from being wobbly.
Matt Sherivinsky up there again with Nancy Rodriguez on bench. So Matt's going to hand off to her with 137. Yep. So 137 here.
Second
and makes it look just like a machine.
Yep.
3 whites right there. So she's putting together a really good day.
You really like to have that consistency from the lifts like that.
Yeah. So
Builds
Veronica,
a lot of confidence.
Yeah. Veronica coming up here, 67.5 kilos. 148 pounds right here on the bar. Basically, she is pressing my weight class. That's she's pressing a 148. There you go.
Clean. Very clean. Controlled.
I would say that looks like a very good lift, and that is 3 whites. Stephanie Dolan, one of our masters lifters. She is going to have 154 pounds on the bar. So Stephanie's got a 766 total. She set that a little while ago. Let's see what happens here. She does have a history where she misses a lot of her bench presses. So, I mean, so far she's got her opener. Let me see if she gets her second here.
Statistically speaking, third bench is the most missed lift.
I think that by that point in the meet, that's where everybody's just ready to swing for it. Everybody's ready to take it, swing for it. Or the fatigue from the squats finally showing up.
I was going to say, I feel like it's one of those things where just that next 5 pounds is the make or break point for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Where you don't have much of an option of going up another 2.5 once you get that attempt.
3 whites though.
Not or try.
Stephanie, regardless of having problems prior with bench, that's 2 of them that she's nailed. And she's competed here quite a bit before. Stephanie's a regular here at Sturge. She knows what she's doing.
Chat says, yes, Nancy, that's Jim Bestie.
Yep. Now we got Danielle Jones. Yeah, you know, like those chips that, you know, can either be a make or break. Like, you know, you smoke one weight and then you would call it maybe a small attempt, 2.5, 5 kilos, 10 kilos, and it feels like the weight of the world's on it. That's deadlift for me. Deadlift is the one where I can smoke one and then the very next one, it's dead.
I was going to make more of a point on that earlier when I was asking about how you like to do your attempts. The percentages, because when you have a bigger, like your big bench, taking percentages makes a little bit more sense. When you're doing like lighter weight, women's bench, for example, it's unfortunately usually a little lighter weight, so you just don't have that.
You just kind of chip,
You're not even taking percentages.
No,
you're
really.
trying
You
to
just do a small little chip,
2.5s.
Yeah.
Just to, because like we've seen, you can see something move that's 5 kilos less, and then they take that 2.5 and it's still a smoke show, and then that next 2.5 that puts the 5 kilo total from their opener, and it's just a brick wall.
Yep. I think at the same time, I know with myself that I can be my own worst enemy when it comes to that. If I don't have confidence in myself, especially with dead, I'm calling too small of attempts. I leave a lot out there. My handlers had to call my attempts in my last meet. Yeah, and they were calling. I would tell them a number, and they would add to it without even telling me. And I'm glad they did, because that helped me win the meet. So, shout out to good handlers there.
Yep.
Victoria Conley.
Little gas on the chest, but I think still going to see a good lift.
Yep, lift, so good lift. So good for her. So that means basically she missed her first, came back, increased on her second, got it. So I'm sure they'll add for their third. So Laura Sanchez up next, same weight on the bar, 85 kilos, 187 pounds. Self handoff again right there. Takes time. Very consistent press. 3 whites. Yep.
It's just a technician.
Yeah. So now we have Jesse Meltzer. 90 kilos.
Got a state record attempt here.
Yep. Basically just shy of 200 pounds.
Finishes, you know, they say we're going to go to
Okay. See how Jesse does here. Registering the weight.
Very easy.
Look
A
good.
little,
Yep. Looks
buzzed
like
a little bit,
good.
but I think we'll still see good.
Three
Yep.
white still. Yep. So again, another lifter setting themselves up so far. 5 for 5 right now. Lily Cash coming out. Lily pressing the same weight. Lily's a junior again. 2023-year-old junior class. Just shy of 200 pounds here. Putting his way out. David handing off to her. Good control on the chest. 3 white lights.
Yep.
3 white lights. So, here is, looks like, Katie.
I kind of feel like if you're not getting a handout, you're kind of missing some pounds.
Yeah.
I feel like
Yep.
it just takes energy you don't need to spend. That you can.
I'll only go up to a certain weight, basically with self handoff. Once I hit a certain weight, I am asking for a handoff. It does. It definitely does. So Katie right here, 110 kilos, 242 pounds.
I know some people will do their own just to get a faster command, but I feel like that very rarely works out in their favor.
Yeah, is the cost worth the reward?
Compared to just if they just had someone hand off and be fast. Just tell your handoff to
jump right out of the way.
Get out of there.
Yep, jump out of the way.
Now, in other fits, it's different. Like USAPL, you are not allowed to pick your own handoff person. So I've coached some kids where they just did not have a good handoff person, and USAPL will not switch the handoff person.
Yep.
So once one person does it, they will never allow that to switch. So we just had a few instances where
you just have to deal with
really
a
bad
poor
handoff. Threw it out to them.
Yep.
And then we just had to make the call, like, we're going to have to just take the self handoff, and we're going to have to take it lower down a little bit.
Yep. Unfortunately, that it is that way with some other meets, some other federations. I mean, the one thing that I do like here about the PLU, they are one of those feds that that they want to do what's best for the lifter. Part of that being, if you have to have your own handoff person, you have your own handoff person. That's something that the PLU allows.
Yeah.
So here we go, Jessica Rapp, 3rd attempt to close out our round 2. She's doing 55 kilos here. And she got 3 white. So she's 6 for 6 for the day. So she got hers in. So now she can go sit down, relax, and get ready for deadlift. Eden Bendorf. So she missed her second. She's retaken her second attempt again for her 3rd. This is going to be 121 pounds.
She missed the press command.
Yes. I believe it was the press command.
We should probably be able to get this pretty easy as long as she listens to her commands again. It still looked like she had a lot in the tank when she did miss. There we go. Yep. That looks good.
There, and she held it there. And she got it. So good job. Way to come back and get that. Claire Johnson up, 126 pounds on the bar, retaking the 126 that she missed.
Powerlifting sport, you really need to be a goldfish in. You got to really just, when you miss, you have to forget it.
Yep.
Move on.
And move on.
Don't let it sink your mentality. Because it can. It's it's very much a mental game of confidence and keeping it. So we also missed your second, retaking there.
So 126.
That looks very. Hold it.
Let's see.
Maybe that's going to be a close call.
Yeah. I think
hit
same.
the uprights.
Yep. And I think again.
So you can get it up. You just
See,
can't
and they even
touch
called it.
the
They said you
uprights.
went. Yep, she went back. I think she basically I think she rushed her rack, but she caught herself knowing, but it was already too late. That's where she hit.
As soon as it hits the uprights,
and
you're
it's done.
kind of in
It's
trouble.
off. Yep. So I don't. It's definitely not a strength issue in that case. It's just more of a technical form. She's got to be patient.
That's where I tell all the
and I think that was one of, and that was one of her first meet. This is one of her first meets. This is something you learn after you compete over a while. And this is why in prep you have to train your lifts as if you're in competition with the commands, with the rules. So Nancy Rodriguez up here, third attempt, 148 pounds.
To not even set their weights in on meet day.
Yeah.
Just let the spotters take it in for you. You'll be fine. You will never miss your rack commands because they will get it for you.
They will take care of you.
And if the spotter takes it early, then you can have an argument.
Then you have an argument.
You early.
Yep.
She just got all three benches there.
Yep, she got all three of her benches. Good job, 154 pounds right there.
Very technically inclined bench there. Very.
Yep. So Veronica Buzelis coming up.
Very nice to watch.
154 pounds on the bar here. He is part of Surge Power Team.
Taking a little bit smaller of a jump from her first to second. Just the 2.5, did 5 her first. So just trying to chip just a little bit more on the total.
Getting set up here.
Holding that weight. Yep.
Steady press right there. And there she goes. She continues her day of 6 for 6. You know, the one thing I've noticed, especially watching the clock and when platform ready is called, you know, yesterday we had a lot of lifters taking it down sometimes to 3-4 seconds left before they had to interact. Today, everybody seems to be kind of Johnny on the spot, kind of right out there real quick, not waiting until the very end. They're set up. They're kind of
Makes me
ready
nervous.
to go.
I don't feel like I'm going to make the clock if I have to try to beat it.
Yeah. Yep. Now, some of these, I think, you know, a lot of it was like more like wrap lifters and stuff. But even when it came to bench, a lot of them were taking their time coming out, and sometimes you need that. Well, let's see what Stephanie does here. Stephanie with 72.5 kilos, just shy of 160 pounds on the bar here. Stephanie going to hand off to herself. Patient. Slow.
She looked a little uneven. Right to left. I think she got a little off on her setup.
Wondering if she, just wondering if she just came down. Maybe a little too high, almost a little too high.
Just the smallest differences on your bench setup can just really make or break it too.
Yep.
Deadlift, you can really muscle out of a bad position. Squat a bit more, but not quite as much. Instead, within bench, it's just such a technique.
You have to be right in that groove. Danielle Jones up 75 kilogram press, 165 pounds. She's in our submaster in our open 90 kilogram weight class.
Being handled by Naz, it looks like. She competed yesterday herself. Very strong performance.
Very strong performance from her. She was
Naz out of ICB. I'm going to guess Danielle is probably out of ICB as well.
Right. Yeah, Naz had just all around big lifts in general, all around, but big squats. Did some big squats.
Naz did quite a bit of weight loss journey from her last meet to here.
Really?
And
okay.
I think she still put up some pretty good numbers considering.
Yeah.
So
she put up some, she put up some really big numbers.
I think she was really happy with her day.
That's really impressive.
Haven't got a chance to talk to her yet, but she looks pretty happy afterwards.
Well, and then like I said, and being here, there's actually a lot of pros that competed yesterday that are here now, coaching, handling, helping out on amateur day, which kind of speaks to just giving back to the sport or giving back to other lifters. It's awesome to see.
Yeah.
It is awesome to see.
I mean, to be in a sport that long and get to that pro level, you kind of really have to like powerlifting.
Yeah. Yeah.
To keep doing this.
Yep.
And to give up even more free time even after you competed on the same weekend. You have to really appreciate the people in the sport.
Victoria grinding one out. Let's see how that looks.
Looked good, I think.
Yeah.
I believe. Blue.
Blues, yep.
Might have been downward as well. It looked like she had a little.
When you have, when there's that slow kind of uneven press on both sides, it tends to have a downward motion. So Laura Sanchez up pressing.
Very smooth still.
Yep. Lily White. Yep, she's happy. I mean, she's so far, she thinks we're sick of the day. So. All right, last 3 lifters of the first session today are coming up. We'll start that with Jesse Meltzler.
State record attempt here.
Yep.
I believe she took it on her last one as well, so she's resetting her own state record.
Yep. 203 pounds here, just shy of 204 pounds. Let's see, looked like there was a little bit of a bounce at the start too, so.
Not quite there today.
Nope.
She'll get it next time.
Nope. So down to our last 2 lifters here.
Lily Cash also taking a state record attempt. It's the same state record they're fighting for right now.
Junior lifter going for 209 pounds. There's David again, handed off here. Oh, she sets up. Now your butt can be all the way off the bench even when you take the bar out. Then you can set it. It's once you start the actual downward motion of the bar that your butt has to be placed on the bench. That is not there today. That one not there. But we'll see her in deads. She's already put together a really good day. Final bench of the first session right here. Katie coming up.
Like you're saying, as long as your butt is down before you start,
Yep. And sometimes people need that. They want to take the bar out. That just continues to kind of reinforce their arch. It gets their trap better planted, and then they're able to basically set their lower.
Then it is on the lifter to make sure that butt is down before they start.
Yep.
The head judge cannot see your butt when they give you the start command. So.
115 kilos, 253 pounds on the bar. Let's see what Katie's doing here. Putting together a good day so far.
She's quite strong on her bench. Said it looked like her lift, and I think she's going to show us here on this last one too. Essentially, 253. I'm going to rush that press a little bit.
Yep. Let's see what happens
fast.
here.
Let's see. They might not catch it though. No, 3-1.
Yep. It was rushed a little bit.
Not letting them fly today.
Yep. So that wraps up bench for the first session, amateur day, Power Surge 9. We're gonna take a little bit of a break. We're gonna get set up for deadlifts.
There'll be a 10-minute break.
Yep, 10-minute
once
break.
the combo is off the platform, and we will be into deads.
Yep, and we're gonna come see some heavy pulls. Let these guys wrap up their competition.
Community that we have built at Surge Tuning Levels is unlike anything I could have ever imagined. And as people kept coming to us, it wasn't just, oh, I want to lift with somebody. It was a community where people could be friends, people could be family, you know, where they could go ahead and rely on each other as teammates as well. So it's really created something where we could genuinely count on all these people for anything and everything. And it's a second home for a lot of us. Lifting for myself and for a lot of other people is an outlet. Like, a lot of people look at it and they're like, why would you abuse your body that way? Why would you spend so many hours in the gym? Why would you do the things that we do on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis? But for us, it means a lot. It's an outlet to be able to escape, maybe for some people, the things that, you know, they're struggling with at home, they're struggling with at work. It's a way to go ahead and express themselves and relieve that stress. But for a lot of people, it's pretty much a place where they can go ahead and just say, none of that matters. We're here together and we're all doing the same thing. So we're family. This is Surge Tuning Levels, and welcome to your new home.
As an athlete, you're always looking for an edge, from recovery to your nutrition to your workouts. Anything that's going to help even 1%. And the equipment you use is no exception.
You want to use the best gear made with the latest technology that shows up for you time and time again when it matters. But we still have a problem. Quality training gear was either overpriced or it didn't last. We thought, why choose between premium and affordable when you deserve both?
We created next level of strength because we believe high quality performance gear should be within reach for everyone, from the seasoned pro to the person taking the first steps into the gym.
We made these products and we know what works and what doesn't because we live it every day. The colors, the design, every fabric and detail were picked to create great products that help deliver performance and style.
But this isn't just about products, it's also about people. You want to build more than a brand. We're building a community, a place for anyone chasing strength, performance, and a better life. No matter who you are, Next Level is committed to helping everyone get better.
I'm John Hack.
And I'm Andy Huang.
And this is Next Level.
Join us and redefine your limits.
community that we have built at Surge Student Levels is unlike anything I could have ever imagined. And as people kept coming to us, it wasn't just, oh, I want to lift with somebody. It was a community where people could be friends, people could be family, you know, where they could go ahead and rely on each other as teammates as well. So it's really created something where we could genuinely count on all these people for anything and everything. And it's a second home for a lot of us. Lifting for myself and for a lot of other people is an outlet. Like, a lot of people look at it and they're like, why would you abuse your body that way? Why would you spend so many hours in the gym? Why would you do the things that we do on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis? But for us, it means a lot. It's an outlet to be able to escape, maybe for some people, the things that, you know, they're struggling with at home, they're struggling with at work. It's a way to go ahead and express themselves and relieve that stress. But for a lot of people, it's pretty much a place where they can go ahead and just say, none of that matters. We're here together and we're all doing the same thing. So we're family. This is Surge New Levels, and welcome to your new home.
As an athlete, you're always looking for an edge, from recovery to your nutrition to your workouts. Anything that's going to help even 1%. And the equipment you use is no exception.
You want to use the best gear made with the latest technology that shows up for you time and time again when it matters. But we still have a problem. Quality training gear was either overpriced or it didn't last. We thought, why choose between premium and affordable when you deserve both?
We created next level of strength because we believe high quality performance gear should be within reach for everyone, from the seasoned pro to the person taking the first steps into the gym.
We made these products and we know what works and what doesn't because we live it every day. The colors, the design, every fabric and detail were picked to create great products that help deliver performance and style.
But this isn't just about products, it's also about people. We want to build more than a brand. We're building a community, a place for anyone chasing strength, performance, and a better life. No matter who you are, Next Level is committed to helping everyone get better.
I'm John Hack.
And I'm Andy Huang.
And this is Next Level.
Join us and redefine your limits.
Community that we have built at Surge Student Levels is unlike anything I could have ever imagined. And as people kept coming to us, it wasn't just, oh, I want to lift with somebody. It was a community where people could be friends, people could be family, you know, where they could go ahead and rely on each other as teammates as well. So it's really created something where we could genuinely count on all these people for anything and everything, and it's a second home for a lot of us. Lifting for myself and for a lot of other people is an outlet. Like, a lot of people look at it and they're like, why would you abuse your body that way? Why would you spend so many hours in the gym? Why would you do the things that we do on a week-to-week, day-to-day basis? But for us, it means a lot. It's an outlet to be able to escape, maybe for some people, the things that, you know, they're struggling with at home, they're struggling with at work. It's a way to go ahead and express themselves and relieve that stress. But for a lot of people, it's pretty much a place where they can go ahead and just say, none of that matters. We're here together and we're all doing the same thing. So we're family. This is Surge to New Levels, and welcome to your new home.
As an athlete, you're always looking for an edge. From recovery to nutrition to your workouts. Anything that's going to help even 1%. And the equipment you use is no exception.
You want to use the best gear made with the latest technology that shows up for you time and time again when it matters. But we still have a problem. Quality training gear was either overpriced or it didn't last. We thought, why choose between premium and affordable when you deserve both?
We created next level of strength because we believe high quality performance gear should be within reach for everyone. From the seasoned pro to the person taking the first steps into the gym.
We made these products and we know what works and what doesn't because we live it every day. The colors, the design, every fabric and detail were picked to create great products that help deliver performance and style.
All right, and we are back for deadlifts. I'm Greg, and we have Christy.
Yes, that is correct.
In a little bit, I think it's last week at Nationals in New Jersey.
Yeah, it's first time I think I met a lot of you guys from up here. So I'm from Alabama. We got our more northern crew here. So, and Greg competed yesterday.
Yes.
That was very fun to watch.
Didn't feel so great, but we're here today. We have Tracy Diedrich up 105 kilos, 231. State record attempt as an opener. Look like it's the opener. Three bad lights.
All right, we got Liza up next, taking 242 for her first attempt here on deadlift.
Get the stream up. If you guys have any questions, throw them up in the stream. We'll be happy to answer. We're both national level reps.
Yep. I'm also meet director for the state of Alabama.
Yep. I'm meet director. Me and my wife are meet directors in Kentucky.
Yeah. So we might know a thing or two. That was a good lift for Liza.
You guys have a pretty seasoned crew down there, I think, right? Quite a few seasoned meet directors. Heidi.
Yeah, we got Chris Webster, Heidi. We got quite a few. A pretty big team.
A lot of faces I see at nationals often. So
yeah, good crew down there for sure.
The easy opener again for Riley. A lot of these openers, I think we're going to see pretty easy.
Yeah, and that's what you want, right? You never want to grind out your opener. That's not a good.
Especially for deads, you usually jump a bit bigger, so a grindy opener dead is not a good sign.
No, not
unless
at all.
you're just really off on maybe a sumo, a really wide technical sumo. If you just position off, those can be a little haphazard.
Yeah, we saw some of that yesterday in the women's fights. It was just technical, right? It wasn't strength. They came back, got it, but especially with sumo, I feel like with conventional, and as someone who's pulled both, you can grip and rip a little bit more, but with sumo, I mean, the technicality is key for sure.
We're seeing a lot of conventional here starting out, so It's interesting. Everybody always says sumo's cheating and it's easier, but I feel like I see a lot more conventional anymore. I feel like I'm thinking less sumo.
I think there's been a shift. I think there was an upward trend of a lot of sumo. Now I do think a lot of younger lifters. I feel like it's still kind of mixed, but I would agree with you. I think we're starting to see more conventional stances now. But it's for sure not cheating.
Especially as you get older.
Yeah.
It gets a lot harder to. I've had to change myself to conventional just because I can't do my sumo anymore. It hurts. My hips can't handle. Gonna hopefully fix it in my next off season, but it's been difficult to accept. But
Yeah.
I don't have it anymore. If you don't use it, you lose it.
That's what they say, and that is so true.
2-1 there. I wonder what we had a blue. That's soft, right?
Yeah, I think maybe she didn't quite lock that out.
I'm still trying to learn we just started the carts in July, and I've only had one meet since
Yeah.
to do the carts, so I was still a little wish-washy on it.
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
little
it'll get
fresh for
better.
all of us.
It'll get better. Generally, I believe blues are downward and soft, right? And then yellows are technical commands, etc. And then red is just failure of lift in general, right?
Well, it depends. I think for deadlifts is the one that confuses me the most, honestly, with the cards. But I think you got like technical, general failed, and then just the overall. But I know for squats, when you see the blue cards, it's usually for, they didn't quite lock it out, or downward motion, and then
Yellow would be
the
the
depth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. All right, we
We
got
have-
Jennifer, and I think we saw Jennifer here yesterday.
Yes, yeah, she was handling Jeremy Alexander, who I was kind of working with. Myself, he's handled by Greeno. Jennifer's handled by Greeno.
Okay.
It was quite a delight to be around yesterday. Very good energy to the warm-up room.
Yeah, she kind of brings that to the platform as well.
She's been having herself a bit of a day. Missed one squat, but otherwise very well, doing very well.
All right, we got Fong up now, and she has gone 6 for 6 so far, having a phenomenal day. She's a very, I would say, methodical lifter. Takes her time.
Yeah.
Very patient.
Her saw on our bench there.
Yeah.
Very solid. Very locked in. That looks to be the same story.
Again, thank you guys for joining us in the chat for day 2. Still got a lot of lifting left today, but these ladies have been crushing it this morning. Gabriella up now with 3:30.
Gabriella being handled by John Hack. Had himself a day yesterday.
Yes.
He said he had a bad day, but he's only 4 points off of his best dots, so I hate when that happens. Gosh. To be the best in the world and be off by your best by 4 dots. Still pull an all-time world record. Deadlift, I believe, 4:13? 4:16?
I don't know if that was his all-time best. For some reason, I felt like it was higher. It is higher.
Might have been at a different weight class, but he was 90.
Yeah, you're correct. Yeah.
He wouldn't have been able to have said it if it wasn't because it was the one digit. It was the
That's
half
right.
kilo jump off of a regular.
And then he missed that squat. That just, unfortunately, the walkout, I think, just threw him off.
It looked like he hit the
J-hook.
The J hook,
Yeah.
the mono hook. Probably
Yeah,
should have re-racked it, I thought, when I was watching it, but it's been doing a little longer than me, so. Sometimes you just don't know. It's hard to gauge in the moment, too. I've done that myself 2 years ago at Surge. My third squat, I hit the hooks, and I just, I don't have the energy to do this and then the walkout. So
Yeah.
sometimes you just have to go and hope.
Also, when you have that, like, you've done your mental setup as well, to start that over, that
You've
could
taken
really
your
play.
hit of ammonia, and
Yeah.
you've locked in for the moment. It's hard to, like, pause, rewind, now hit the gas again, and especially about your third, sometimes it's got to go.
Yeah, you just
You gotta hope and pray.
Yeah. All right, so we got Becca up now taking 341, and that is going to be a good opener for her.
Marin Meyer, she handled me at Ghost class earlier in April. She's also a delight to be around in the warm-up room. She's really helps me on that day. She's been having a good day herself here. Missed her one bench. It looked like she might have heard the press command a little early. She started and then stopped and then smoked it anyway. They retook, and then I think they took a bigger jump on the third. I talked to her a little bit. She wanted to get a 220.
Yeah.
And it looked like she got her 100 kilo there. So
Sometimes I feel like you give yourself, I know it's happened to me. I think I heard the press command, but it's really just my subconscious telling me to press that bar.
especially when the music's a little loud, it's just,
Yeah.
it can kind of be hard to tell. So she came back, got it on her second easy. Got her third, she wanted, I believe. So not really a miss then.
No, but and I will say for bench, it is challenging. To me, I feel like that's one of the, aside from squat, just being the first lift, right, and the nerves are really there.
Yeah.
Bench, if you miss that bench opener, it's just because of the technicality and everything that you have to walk in for bench, I think that's probably the hardest one to recover from if you
Yep.
miss it on your opener.
Yep. Powerlifting's a sport where you have to be a goldfish and just forget and move on when you
Yeah.
miss an attempt and just know you're going to do it right the next time.
Yep.
That's all you can do. Very big. It's confident. You have to be very confident when you go for it, because having that doubt makes you hesitate and slow down, and you have to have that speed to power through your sticking point sometimes.
Well, and I think like this level of a meet, right, you can see that just consistently across the board with these athletes and their experience. We saw it yesterday, we're seeing it today, where they're missing things, but sometimes they're going up, right? If there's a plan in place, and if they know it was a technical thing, or just the confidence in what they're here to do is very evident. And just like that, she is on a mission today as well.
Yep, she's a lifter out of ICB in kind of my area.
Okay.
2 hours north of where I live, Indianapolis. See her do a few meets. She's looking on form today.
Yeah, I
Doing very well.
think we maybe might see a 400-pound deadlift in this flight. Moving on to second attempt already. We are cruising.
These spotters and loaders, even though they did all day yesterday, they are still flying through this.
This crew, I've said it so many times, I know for a fact there's just not a better crew out there. There were so many close calls yesterday. They kept everyone safe. We didn't have anyone unnecessarily injured.
Yep.
They're so quick.
My good friend Jordan blew out his knee yesterday on his second squat. He said he couldn't even feel the bar after he lost his knees. So it was David Zurchering, his 650-ish.
The reaction time was insane on that. Looks like she didn't quite get that, but she's got one more chance to come back and take that. She's going to run that 115 back. Got Liza up now. I love just the representation of age groups here. We got junior all the way up to master 2.
Yeah. Anybody can compete in powerlifting. It's a sport for everybody. Even if you're in other sports, it's a great off-season sport just to build some muscle and have a little fun.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Everybody likes pushing big numbers, as long as it doesn't hurt. 2-to-1 reds, a little blue, soft, probably.
Yeah. So the judges are looking for those hips, those quads to be locked out, those glutes to be locked out, and those shoulders to be back. And sometimes they're pitched a little forward.
It really has to be shoulders in line with the hips. Sometimes you see people try to overextend and pull those shoulders back, and it ends up unlocking their knees or hips and gets them soft again.
Yep.
So really, you just want to be perfectly locked and not
you
try to
want
overlock.
everything locked in,
Or faking their lockout when they know they can't pull their shoulders back all the way, so they try to push it forward with their hips, especially in the sumo, wide sumo. So they push the hips forward more and ends up unlocking the knees. just to try to get the shoulders into position. So,
We were talking about big back yesterday. Big back, big lifts, really across the board. That back's what's going to come into play. Tanya in the 67.5 kilo class taking 270.
looked like a solid second there.
And she
A little soft. It is Maddie on the left-hand side, and he can be a little bit of a stickler. He's a solid judge. He's known for doing the high-level meets, doing American Pro, Ghost Clash, Surge here, Nationals. He's kind of their go-to guy when it comes to those top-level pro meets. One of their go-to guys. So these lifters, they're earning their lights today. It's not nothing is being given for free.
No, and it's been, I will say, the judging just all weekend so far has been very consistent, and nothing has been given for sure. It's been earned.
I didn't have any complaints.
Do what?
I didn't have any complaints. Maddie was my head judge. I always hear a few people kind of complain about the pause on bench.
Yeah.
But again, it's on the lift. It's motionless. It's not a set amount of pause time. It's as soon as you have that motionless on your chest, then you get your press.
Honestly, I felt like the press, and again, like you guys are experienced lifters, so you would expect to see, good technique. And I felt like the press commands were right on par. Like
Yeah.
motion,
I didn't hear much of it. A couple people, but most of the pros were pretty.
So we're
Pretty
seeing
happy.
a lot of shoulders. It looks like a lot of these lifters aren't quite getting their shoulders back, so they got that forward. She got called. That's what she got called for by the head judge.
2-to-1, still a good lift, but
Yeah.
as it gets heavier and heavier too, it starts to become more and more of an issue and more pronounced. So something they got to watch out for.
All right, Jennifer up now.
Little stick right at the top, but still looked good. 3 whites. So usually conventional, you'll see the sticking point right at the top. It's a little bit harder. It's easier off the ground and then a little harder right at the top. Pneumo is kind of the opposite, where it's harder off the floor but easier to lock out once they get moving.
So
Is what
I
generally
did both. Not always the same sticking point for me. Like it comes off the floor so quickly, but above the knee, again, like right near that lockout.
I say in general because I
You're
also
right.
have the same point, but mine is usually my grip. So when I hit my thighs is where it really starts to get hard to hold on to.
Yeah.
It starts ripping my hand open.
Are you mixed grip or?
I mix grip. I can't. I tried hook grip for a while and I just kept getting big blood blisters on my thumb and I couldn't train it consistently. So
Yeah.
it wasn't for me. I've got fat baby hands.
I mean, I feel like I got the hands to do it, but I'm just a sissy. I can't. It hurts too bad. But mixed grips always worked for me, so.
Can't argue with results.
Exactly. And if it's not broke, don't
fix
fix it. All right, we got
Bong
Bong
back up.
now.
Well, like her first, honestly. Very consistent lifter throughout.
All of her lifts, and that's what you want to see, right? You want to see in your warm-ups to your heavy attempts, really the technique should look the same every single time, and she is evidence of that. She's crushing it. Made a 10-kilo jump, so we'll see how her third attempt goes. Got Becca up
Third
now.
days are always the fun time to see. People
Yeah.
gonna try to swing for, because then you have nothing left to give for the rest of the day. You can kind of unload your excess energy, and you can see some people take some really big swings.
Yeah, I normally,
A little bit of a grind here. Right at the top.
I think she did, yep,
Right.
get that one.
Sometimes you have to pull weapons for like 3 seconds. They want you to die. And then all of a sudden, you're just that.
So sometimes we'll see the coaches a little strategy, maybe switch up some third attempt deadlift calls, depending on maybe other lifters in the weight
Start
class.
trying to jockey for
Yeah,
position.
trying to pull for the win, as they say. So might see some of that today.
Sometimes you can see one lifter will miss and their coach will run up and lower theirs just to hit just enough to win.
Yeah.
When they know there's an opening, they're just sharks in the water sometimes. A little more at the pro level, a little less at on the amateur. Usually they're just trying to hit what they can hit. Especially when there's nothing, besides the qualifying total, there's not a lot riding on the line usually.
Yeah. I'm one of those, though, like if I call it, we're going for it.
Mary's going for a state deadlift record attempt here.
Honestly,
Fighter quit. Micah is handling her today.
I haven't seen, I feel like the jumps on deadlifts, typically you see a little bit bigger jumps on deadlifts than you do on squat and bench, but I really haven't seen, well, we got a few, but I haven't seen jumps like I would expect. She got that one, though.
Solid set. She's waiting to get checked. Micah handling her today. He's been a long-time veteran of the sport. Big key player of making the American Pro the American Pro.
Yeah. We
Him
had
and Anna, the president of PLU. That's their baby, so.
And it's, I mean, everyone, I feel like, knows what the American Pro is, so.
It's set a higher standard, I think, for powerlifting meets and having just that big video screen behind and just really doing, for untested powerlifting. I believe USAPL was kind of already doing some of that stuff, but to bring it to the untested side and really upping the untested side of things.
She looked really confident. Yep, that's going to be a good lift for her. I think we're going to see her hit over 400 today. Being handled by her coach, Ronald Tarvin.
Our first 400 dead for the day.
That's what I'm talking about.
Handled by Josh Kinzer, another lifter out of now he's at Circuit City. He was supposed to do this meet, and he had a pretty bad tear in his adductor. So he, I believe, won men's best last year at Surge. Very strong, but unfortunately just not quite the run back.
And sometimes, you know, like we were talking about that yesterday, just all the factors that come into play in prep and leading up to prep. Sometimes things like that happen, and you just have to.
I'll tell you, like not Surge last year, earlier this year, one of the Surge meets earlier this year. John probably won last year's Surge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still, just coming back from an injury.
Yeah. Talked to him a little bit. He said he's feeling pretty good, but not good enough to have done the meet.
Yeah.
Today.
But it's important to know that, to be able to listen to your body and not cause unnecessary damage.
Yep. Yep.
All right, we're already moving on to third attempt deadlifts.
So Tracy's retaking her second at 115. Let's see if she might have been a little soft on it, so let's see if she can get this fully locked out. She looks strong still, so she's just got to get those shoulders and hips, shoulder pull back, hips push forward. Long, hard to tell. Might have gotten a little unlocked at the top. 2 to 1 though, still good lift.
I love that she just walked off the platform. She was like, whatever, I pulled it.
They're dead. That's kind of where it is. You know, like I pulled it. It's at least a gym PR for me, probably.
Yeah,
depending on where you are in your lifting career.
right.
Sometimes.
So Liza missed her second, I believe, because of her lockout.
Still went up,
Go up.
7.5 kilos. A little less than her first to second. It was a 10-kilo jump. So playing a little bit more conservative maybe on her second, or for her third here.
But it looks like she's maybe going for a state record, so she took that jump.
Trying to lock in that record. Let's see if she gets this. She's locking in.
I love to watch the deadlift setup.
Everybody's got their own thing. I'm boring and don't have much of one.
Same.
I just kind of like to say, grip it and rip it. Nope. Unfortunate, not there today. I just wipe my shoes off, make sure there's no baby powder, and go for it.
Yeah, I'm normally about 4 shots of whiskey in, just like.
I don't even know. I just kind of started hitting it after bench, and I thought my back can't hurt if I can't feel it. So muscle relax me away. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked for me so far.
You have a go-to, or do you just kind of what's good?
You know, I'm kind of a snob, so I want, at least like some Buffalo Trace or.
Mine was Willet yesterday.
Okay.
You had Willet?
I respect. Yes.
It's kind of been one of my favorites recently. It's a not bad price. We are not seeing much luck on third gets, so we need someone to swing. Sometimes it means you get a bit of a streak going, and you need someone to break that streak and just come up with the do or die attitude and just really swing it, and then everybody gets their confidence back.
Now Riley took a pretty big jump. And I will say we're seeing it looks like the jumps from second to thirds have been bigger for a lot of these girls than the first to second. So
that's when, like I was saying, you have a little bit more to dump out now. You don't have to conserve anything left. There's no squats coming next. There's no bench coming next. It's all deads. And she got that one. Braylon missed her second here, went up another 5 kilos anyway. We're going to see what she can do. She's going for a state record attempt, 319 pounds, 145 kilos on the bar.
And I think she got that.
3 white lights.
He did. Nicely done. Didn't get that.
Nice into the day there for her.
They're going to chase her.
Coach is chasing her down. That was a state record, right?
Yeah, it was.
You checked?
She did not.
Oopsies.
All right, we got
I'm gonna come up 145 or 162 and a half.
So she got one call from the head judge, but
Yep.
her shoulders really didn't.
If getting that sticking lockout, it didn't soften these maybe. Let's see what the judges say. Yep, 2-1. Right. Maybe not quite locked out all the way.
Yeah.
Reds. I would have thought blue for soft.
It looks like they're letting her know soft knees. So again, you don't want the shoulders in front of the hips. You kind of want everything in line. You want to see those quads flex, those glutes flex. It's not always easy to see from the front as well.
Yep. Becca Ward coming up with 165 kilos, 363. If she is successful, it looks like she will stay in third place here. I wonder if that's for the overall or the weight class.
I believe it's for the weight.
I believe so.
So a little more of a narrow sumo.
That's where it was a little tougher off the ground. She looked like she got it locked out nicely.
That looks like a strong pull from
There
her.
we go, 3 white lights. just really good patience off the floor and staying in position. You don't want to let the hips shoot up in sumo, because that'll ruin the positioning and just make everything kind of a waste. You won't get the easier lockout portion of sumo when you're cocked forward.
So Gabrielle is going to take the same weight for her third attempt. And if she gets this, she stays in first place.
She's fighting it.
Looking strong.
It's going.
She's got it.
It's there. Let's see. 2-1. 2-1. Good lift.
All right, taking the bar up to 369 pounds for Jennifer. The 10-kilo jump.
She's been looking good all day. Missed one squat. Otherwise, she's looking for an 8 for 9 day with this pull. Just a trip and rip. Oh, getting stuck right above the knees. Still finishing a 7 for 9 day.
And shaking the hands of the judges. We love to see that, regardless of how the calls go. Sportsmanship.
I try to remember, but I get so like tunnel visioned and like I can't see anything, and I'm just trying to get out of the way.
Same. And then you have the whiskey, right? So then there's that factor.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to. I can't see right now. I don't know where I am.
All right, we got Fong up now, 170, so 375 on the bar.
Every lift has looked the same for her on these deads so far. I have a feeling she's going to make this one about the same. Just a little slower, but still pretty close to about the same.
Sometimes you'll
2 to
see,
1.
yeah, it looks like
A little soft maybe from the head judge.
the lifters sometimes, what I've noticed is on the third attempts, they'll do something a little bit different. Like instead of just going down and grabbing the bar, they kind of play around with it, pick it up a little bit, and just doing those things outside of what your standard, setup is can affect. I mean, really is just the little things sometimes.
It's usually the nerves, I think, and then it's kind of you're playing against yourself mentally when you start to overthink it and play with it, to me.
Yeah, and we saw that on her third attempt. She spent a little more time at the bar than she had, but she still got that one. And now we got Courtney taking 385 for a spin.
Sometimes it can be a little bit making sure your grip is locked in, though.
Yeah.
Or you kind of felt a slip on your second. You're like, man, I really need to just make sure I get my grip just right. Don't rush the grip.
I gotta just, if I start playing with the bar, it's over with for me. We got our third attempt deadlift songs going. Lifters are vibing.
I forgot to set mine. I'm a little disappointed in myself. Man.
All right, she's getting locked in, grabbing the bar. Looks like she was out of position right off the floor with that one.
It's hard to say in the moment, too, but with it not breaking the ground, you still could have attempted.
Yeah.
Not an attempt until it breaks the ground.
Correct. So, and along those lines, when you have people who like to kind of wedge and pull the slack out of the bar a few times, if you do that and it does break the floor, even though you haven't technically attempted, it does count as an attempt.
Yes,
So
you have to be careful of that. I see it a lot more with sumo, like a wider sumo, when they really try to pull the slack. It's hard to see from the live stream usually too. So a lot of people think they are getting unjust calls.
Yeah.
But when you're in the chair, it's a lot easier to see if all the plates are leaving the ground. especially when we see it happen in maybe the second attempt.
Yeah.
And we're more watching for it. And it just happens that, unfortunately, we see it fully on your third, and then we know.
So Jessica just lost grip of that at the top. I mean, Maren, my apologies. Jessica is up now, taking 413.
Maren just lost a little bit there. We have Jessica and then Gabrielle, both going for the same 187.5. So they're both going to be trying the same weight, over 400. All three of these last deadlifts were over 400. 2-1 though. Little soft. Still got it up though. Still a big win there. Just needs to be cleaned up and she'll have it next meet for sure.
Yeah, but again, that's why it's so important to ask the judges so that you know.
The charts do make it a little nicer that you can kind of have an idea.
Yeah.
Like we were saying, blue, usually soft, so
And
got to snap everything into position.
yeah, and for third, that's to be expected.
Ooh, she's fighting. She is fighting. A little downward looked like if you miss it. Not quite there, though. Oh.
So I think she was apologizing because she put the bar down so abruptly, but what we're looking for, obviously she failed that lift, but there is a rule, right, that you cannot accelerate the bar to the floor, but you can't drop the bar as well.
I believe she peed a little bit. She's apologizing for that.
Okay,
Did not
yeah,
mean
that
to.
could-
You will see that a little bit on women's deadlifts because of that much pressure in women's anatomy. It kind of goes down. Guys, and they hate to admit it, but sometimes guys will put their pants up.
So I've actually seen one guy in my whole career pee himself, but it is common, right? Like you see, especially with women
Yes.
more so. But
When they really try to push those numbers,
Yeah.
you'll see it. And it's natural, it's normal, it happens. Not a big deal.
we were talking about this yesterday, and I was competing, and I stopped mid-lift because I started to pee, and I just like didn't want to pee, and I thought, what a stupid thing. That could have been 573 on the platform. I'm like, never again. That was so
I forget who it was. It was one of the bigger names in female powerlifting. She said, you can either pull it and be happy PB pants and get your lifts, or you can be a sad PB pants and miss your lift when you still could have gotten it.
And I was sad PB
Just
pants.
pull it through and be a happy PB pants. It didn't even face the spotters, if you notice.
Yeah.
Just another day.
I'm pretty sure I saw David get pee in his shoe one time, so he's for sure used to it. All right, so we're starting flight B. Eden just went successful first attempt. Claire up now, 259 on the bar.
I won't name names, but I saw one of the lifters changing his underwear every squat attempt because he was blowing them out.
We're just, it just be like that sometimes.
It just happens.
It just happens. At least he
You can
changed
either
his-
get your lift and be happy to your poop pants, or you could miss it
and be sad.
and be sad and still have it in your pants. So just be happy and get your lift. All right, that's enough body talk. We are
That
back
is your
to-
inspirational quote for the day.
That's right. We're back to the first heads. We got Jessica coming up.
Jessica taking 264.
Destroying 260.
Yeah, looking like a warm-up still.
I feel a lot with the women. They really have the powder all the way up their thighs. And I don't quite understand that myself. I only like the powder about as high as the bar goes. Their powder is going far above, I believe.
Yeah, so it could be just the technique of how they're getting the powder onto their legs, but I remember the first nationals I did, I was pretty powdered up. Yeah, so you see here,
It's the
she's got
crotch.
the powder.
Getting the powder up to the crotch is where I'm like, I don't understand that as much. And my last meet, I had my handler, Maren, did powder
Yeah.
my crotch, and I was like, I don't need that that high. I'm not going that high.
Maybe she thought you were gonna clean and press it. You
It's
know?
Let me try though.
Maybe there's something to be said there.
Maybe. Not quite my wheelhouse.
And also with baby powder, that's why too. I like that we're using carpet because I know used to on the platforms, carpet wasn't necessarily a requirement. And that baby powder, especially if you're pulling sumo, is not your friend.
It gets the powder, or it gets the platform slick.
Very
It's
much.
not an enjoyable experience. I've been lucky that every meet I've done, it's been carpet, and PLU, WRPF, USPA, all kind of standardized having carpet on their platforms and not being rubber. They can have rubber underneath, but the carpet has to be the top layer. They even standardize the kind of carpet you can use. It can't be even a
Correct.
shag carpet. It has to
Yep.
be a low ply carpet. Fun meet director fact.
Used
for
to
everybody.
not be though.
Yes,
And
there
I'm
was,
glad they changed.
It was my buddy Jordan who blew his knees out. It was a meet he held in Kentucky. He had a lifter complain because they blew their knees out and blamed the carpet for slipping. When the reality was they dive bombed their squat and just kind of blew their knees out in wraps.
When I used to pull sumo, that was one of the issues I had. Is the footing, right? Like because that foot pressure is
Yeah.
integral in
Yeah.
both stances, but especially sumo. All right. Good opener for Nancy. We got Stephanie up now, taking the same weight, 325. Solid looking.
No baby powder on her though.
I'm definitely team baby powder.
I don't understand how people can go without. To be honest, I started pulling my warm up yesterday, and about 2 reds in after that, I was like, I'm sticky, and I need some baby powder
And
already.
it is sticky in here.
Yes.
It is not dry by any means.
I was already fighting my thighs on trying to get it. Like it was mid thigh starting to stick, and I was like, I don't like this.
And there's not many things that make me more angry than messing a deadlift up because I'm hitching because my thighs are sticking to the bar. And
Call me a big old baby, but I want my baby powder.
2-1, so she got a red card.
She's gonna go check with the ref. Always a smart call. Always check with the refs, just to be sure. Even though we have the color cards, it's still kind of new to everybody. So
Right.
it's still just really smart to check, just in case the ref made a mistake on what card they did.
And there are, for some of the lifts, there are different reasons for the
Yep.
color.
Yep.
All right, so Katie taking 352. And she's got those really, I think that was a good example of making those arms really long for the deadlift. So
Yep.
you want to shorten that range of motion, and she definitely reached down, kept those arms very long, and paid off.
Those long arms really help lock your lats in too and set just your whole upper back tight. So you don't want that getting loose and just having a rounded upper back. That's where you look like a dog pooping.
Honestly, that's how I think my back got so strong, is just poor deadlift technique.
That can do it if you power through. That was very snappy.
That was so bad.
Yep, that was 3 whites. Very easy.
Yeah, she's also been crushing it. Honestly, these women, I'm seeing a lot of green on the board. Laura is our last lifter in this flight, taking her first attempt. Then we're moving on to seconds.
165, a little bit less than we saw in the first light so far. Deadlifts can get a little bit trickier on some of the bigger builds. Like we were saying, with bigger thighs, it can get a little harder to get that lockout strong. So playing a little bit safer usually is a smart call. Even with an athletic build, having those bigger thighs, they can get in the way.
Oh, I know. All too well.
Same. Which is usually why you see, I think, a lot of the bigger lifters will go sumo to make more room for their thighs. Because it kind of puts them to the side and gets them out of the way a little bit. When you're stacked conventional, you're just straightforward timing.
See, I actually felt like I had a harder time with sumo because of my thigh, especially in the lockout. On my hands, just getting caught. Conventional, I don't gotta think about it. I just gotta.
Yes, that is where the one part where sumo, you can get your hand stuck on your thigh too. I had that issue myself, where my hand would get stuck on my thigh, and as I kept going up, it just rolled my fingers open.
I actually have ripped the skin off the top of my hand. The friction. Yeah, it's gross. That was very smooth. I agree with that in the chat. We're seeing a lot of good pulls. Again, we're only just starting second attempts.
Yeah. Get some really good pulls at the first session, or the first flight. This is the first session. It's all the first session.
We really are seeing a lot of conventional stances today.
Yep. Looks good. Let's see.
Yep.
Always a little hard to tell from the front if they did that overextension or not. But
yeah, so that's why we have the head judge, but also the two judges on the side for all three lifts, because they're looking at something different than the head judge. So they're checking those shoulders. So it looked
very
like
gentle set down there.
yes.
I kind of hate to see it because it's a lot. Like, I know how much energy it takes to set it down that gently. You can just let gravity do this work. It never loses.
If you set it down that gently, I think maybe you can put a little more weight on it.
Yeah, there is that.
The crowd is loud out here.
I get some gyms make people set it down gently,
Yeah.
and it's unfortunate because they're definitely not powerlifting gyms. Everybody should get the chance to train at a good powerlifting gym.
Yes.
Obviously, if you're watching the stream, you're here at the meet, you're a fan of powerlifting, so you know how the community is just one of the best parts of it. Bar
What
none.
attracted me to the sport 9 years ago was the community. I didn't meet, didn't have a coach, had no idea what I was doing. Here we are. All right, Jesse. Again, a little more narrow sumo stance.
Very fast. 3 on seconds.
Yeah.
What? She needs to load up a third. For a third move like that, I'm gonna feel ripped off. As a viewer,
I also will feel ripped off.
I want to see something. I want to see some
Sometimes
weight.
I wish we could, like, the crowd, or like we got to choose, you know?
Very wide stance conventional here.
It's kind of more like I would say like a strongman stance.
Yeah. I'm not sure if you watched the IPF Worlds,
Yeah.
but the men's 125. There was a guy that he almost looked like he was doing a snatch grip with. He ended up winning the 125s and had the biggest deadlift of the day. Missed his opener though, and everyone was giving him a little bit of a, like, what is he doing here type thing. And then he took his second. I think he went up and it took his second anyway and nailed it. And then he had the biggest deadlift of the day. So anybody that says sumo's cheating needs to realize it's more about your leverages, finding what works for you.
And everybody
Having
is
a stance like that is like the opposite of sumo. Really, and it just works for the individual.
Yeah. She did not get that lift, though. She did get 3 reds. Stephanie looking extremely strong. Good second attempt from her.
I'll still stand by my point. If you didn't get the lift, you got to find what works for you.
Exactly, yeah. So, but that's a part too about the sport, right? Is being able to try new things and test things out. Like
Yep.
your grip on bench or your stance, or I mean, it's different for everybody.
Yep.
It's a Nancy.
And a lot of times you will see people maybe switch from sumo to conventional or conventional to sumo just to figure out, could this be something that works later in their career?
I did the same thing. I started out conventional, switched to sumo, and then went to conventional, added 50 pounds to my deadlift. But they do complement each other very well. So I will say just incorporating them both into training, I think, is also effective.
If you stick to just sumo, I feel like you become a lot more technical, efficient with it, but maybe not as strong as you could be. A lot of people that can do both, I feel like are just stronger, but maybe not as technically inclined to sumo. Isn't a bad thing. I'm kind of the same way. I've been able to pull over 700 sumo, and I've pulled, not in the meet 700 conventional, but I've done a gym 700. My best, I think I've done a 683 conventional on the platform. So not too far away. I've done 722 sumo.
So we got a red and a blue.
Like I said, I think the color cards are just a little bit new for our refs, and we kind of don't know, maybe.
So I was trying to see what they called. Either way, it was a no lift for her.
I feel like I've seen a few maybe that I would have called soft blue be put as a red. So it might have just been soft, and they threw the red instead of the blue.
Yeah.
The blue, I believe, is did not completed lift, so they may be counting the soft as they didn't fully lock out, didn't fully complete the lift. It's kind of what I'm thinking in my head. So I can understand that.
Yeah. Right as that
Trying to fight it now.
point,
Now
yeah.
shaking her head now. She knows. She knows.
So let's see if she comes back and takes that again.
It looks like she said run it back. Yep. Running it back. So one more chance. Just getting that, maybe getting a position back just a little bit could fix that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get just a little too far over the bar, where your shoulders cock forward. I was saying on the sumo, when you start, your hips shoot up and then you shoot forward, and it's a lot more to pull back on.
Right.
So if you can just keep that a little more upright, it can fix your timing, even on conventional. Fix the timing of your hips and knees locking and make the lockout just that little bit smoother to really lock it in.
Really blowing up her second attempt. I wonder what she's gonna call for her third. Got Laura up now. I think we could also see 400-pound deadlift in this fight as well. Yes. Taking 385 for her second attempt.
She's from 170, 12 and a half kilos, she'd be at 400 there.
You'll notice too that Laura is also not only in the open 90, but she is in another division, bench only. So lifters do have the option to add additional divisions. So they can be deadlift only, bench only, and so it looks like she did do that. Going for 385 now.
Still very easy. She's definitely going to be pulling 400 today. She's going to load it at least.
Oh, yeah.
If she doesn't, I'm upset. It's 385. She's got at least another 10 kilos.
She's smiling. We're getting ready to start our
Third
attempt.
deadlift. Magic happens on third deadlifts.
It's the best part of the day.
You're hitting your last lift. You just unload the tank and
I think the energy too from the crowd, like it just amps up.
Yes.
Third attempt deadlift.
everybody's kind of just waking back up from bench.
Yeah, yeah.
Bench is unfortunately kind of boring. Kind of boring to watch.
And I think that's why maybe they put it in the middle of the event, right?
Give you a little nap. A little nap in the middle of the day. And then we come back and do some deads.
Exactly. All right, so Eden took a 5-kilo jump.
Looks good. Looked great.
And that is going to be
Anybody likes? Finished 8 for 9 day. Fantastic performance.
all right. So we got Jessica up now.
There are deadlift songs for everybody coming up. I can give you that extra boost too, having your song play. Get you in that right headspace.
I've never done a meet where I got to choose a third attempt deadlift song, so
It's definitely fun, and I'm seeing it more. I'm seeing meet directors offer the option more. It's a nice touch. He's fighting. He is fighting. That's going to be a little supported on thighs, even if she gets it, but it's still, it was a good crack at it. Let's see what the judges say, though. Yeah, it's definitely supported on thighs.
yeah. So we saw a little bit of that. Also, you'll hear people use the term ramping, and then maybe a little bit of hitching as well, just as you try to get it through that last bit of the lockout.
We in PLU kind of took hitching and ramping and kind of just smashed it into the catch-all that's supported on thighs, because it's a little more descriptive of what is happening. Anytime you kind of telltale see the knees shoot forward in the bar, start to sit on the thigh, that's usually going to be, they can argue semantics of hitching or ramping, but it's supported on thighs. It's supported on thighs either way. It's on the thigh and it's being supported.
Yeah, so, but I know, so hitching you'll see sometimes it's not necessarily supporting on the thigh, but the lifters, when there's that stop and go motion, that up and downward, I mean, again, same thing, but you'll hear these terms used interchangeably. So just want to clarify that for anybody watching.
And for us to be able to implement a card system that kind of makes sense, having something that's catch-all for it,
right,
makes more sense than sitting there arguing with your rep about the semantics of pitching versus ramping.
Right. You'll hear.
We don't have time for it. They don't need to have time for it. We need to keep the meet going.
Exactly.
So supporting on thighs is just the easier catch-all to throw a card on.
And she looked very strong with that pull.
2-1, still a good lift. I don't see a color, so I don't quite know what she got called for. I'm a little curious. It looks pretty snappy.
It moved better for sure than her second.
Veronica up 150 kilos to 30. She's having a really good day so far. 8 for 8 so far. See if you can finish out 9 for 9.
Let's see.
She's fighting it. And there it goes.
Right past that sticking point. That thing moved.
Pretty well, it's 9 for 9 day. You'd say generally, convinced can be hard off before, but it's, again, to the individual. Hers looked like it was a little hard off before, and then she just snapped it up.
Yep. That's why, too, though, it's important that you have a coach that knows how to work those weaknesses, right? Because it's not going to be the same for everybody, so.
Yeah. Someone that understands the lifter and really pays attention and works through it.
Yeah. I like this hype song. Let's get in the crowd. Everybody's crunk out here. We got Jesse up now.
Where are we going? Getting the spotters and loaders going.
I know, everybody is vibing.
Her second was incredibly, I'm undersold, underwhelmed. She needed more weight on the bar. That was 20 kilos shorter, I think, of what she could have done today, to be honest.
That was so easy.
She didn't take a big jump either. It was, she definitely had at least 10 keys from the first to second. I mean, you got to play to what you want to do. So maybe she's going for a qualifying total of some sort. Hard to say. Maybe a certain dots, and you just want to make sure you lock it in.
Everybody's got their.
But if I'm having a day like that, I'm going to load it myself.
I'm loading it in. All right, Stephanie.
She's fighting. It's a fight. Someone get this woman some baby powder, please. That could have been a lot easier, but I think she got it. Nope.
So again, can't really tell from the side, but
Red, I think might be
from the
supported
front.
on thighs. blue called middle red soft.
Again, though, guys, that's why it's so hard.
Yeah.
And where we're sitting, we're kind of
Yeah.
up off to the side.
Just
so-
kind of going off what the cards say.
Yeah.
And hoping I'm right.
And,
It's on
like,
the
from
ask the
front,
judge.
It didn't really look like, that's why we have judges. It didn't really look like she was doing that. She was just fighting through it. But again, you can't
It's
really
what
see
my
it.
guess would have been.
Yeah.
Just from this angle, I mean, it looked good to me. But again, the side judges are going to be able to see it a lot better than I would here.
But it counts for her. So, all right, we got Nancy, 369.
Strong pull, looks good. She says yes.
And that's going to
Red
be
lights. Gonna make say she's very narrow conventional there. If you saw her, the thighs were touching.
Yes, I was gonna say very narrow.
Very narrow. You finished got 8 for 9 day. She looks very happy on that pole. I would be too. Katie going for a state deadlift record here, 170. Missed it on her second. She just couldn't get the lockout. She shook her head no. She knew she couldn't get it. But let's see if she can get this positioning locked in. Feel a little bit better. Crowd behind her. Her deadlift song on. Just that little extra move. Let's see if it gets it for her.
So it's going to be about positioning.
She's fighting it through though. Giving her the down. Let's see. I don't know.
No,
It's gonna be close.
got it.
Yep. Yep. I think just wasn't quite there.
Too, you gotta factor in. You know, she did really good on squats. And squats, you know, everything plays a part. So
Yep.
sometimes, you know, we're talking about strategy. Lifters maybe scratching their third attempt to conserve some of that energy for
Yep.
their last pull. But
She's fighting here. It looks like she's already supporting on thighs
yeah,
though. It's gonna be a tough call. It's gonna go to the judges. Yep. Yep.
looks like blue and a red, so it's a soft lockout and it's like supporting the bar. When it gets heavy and you start leaning back, it happens.
Yep.
In strongman, it's okay.
Yep.
Not
in
in power.
strongman, it's legal, but in powerlifting, we have a little bit more strict rules set. Let's keep clean. Lily went up 7.5 kilos. I believe her last one was pretty fast. Didn't quite go for 400. I thought maybe she would have. She looked good. Let's see what she got here. 391 though. That's pretty close. 9 pounds off. Her second was really snappy.
It was.
If this snaps really fast, I'm gonna be a little mad she didn't go 4. This was the right time. That's a fight. Looks good. Let's see. Maybe a little supported on one side though. Nope. Supported on one side.
It's crazy.
I was
too,
wrong.
what-
400 wasn't the right call. She made a better call.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say. It's crazy. Just sometimes 2.5 kilos can make one lift look completely different from the other one. But
When you have someone that is very, I'm the same way. I'm very explosive. That range of like making your lift look super snappy to just an absolute fight is crazy thing.
it is so loud in here.
Everybody's getting
Bar
behind her.
is going for
She is
402.
going for 400 as well. State deadlift record attempt here. Last deadlift of this session. Fighting through, and it looks like it's going to be good.
Everybody is on their feet.
2 to 1. That's going to be a good lift. And that finishes our deadlifts and session 1.
Yep. So we will
see
be
you guys
back at 2 p.m. for
for
session.
session 2.
Yep. And thank you guys for tuning in.
You